Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
It was very sudden.
It was very sudden. It was just I just threw you in there. Welcome to another quad
Hey,
therapy
Chris.
session. Hey Chris, how
We're
you doing?
waiting.
We're waiting. He's waiting.
You can wait. What you mean, man?
Wait, don't
We're
wait. No,
big
we're here.
players.
We're here now, ready for you with
Yes.
our special guest.
Who's that?
Special guest. He is special. It is Thomas Ashley
Yes.
of Ragg-e Fame. So we know Ragg-e.
Ragg-e Frames.
Fame. Ragg-e Frame Fame. Frame
That
Fame.
screen off. It's like
Well, this one's very
Yeah.
disturbing for you, is it?
yes, very.
But look, we get to see that. We get to
So
see all
much
the
love.
loves in that one. I like it. Don't look at the faces. No, so this is
Yes.
Thomas Ashley
From
from
Ragg-e
Ragg-e,
Frames.
from Ragg-e Frames. The
Ragg-e Frames.
famous from Ragg-e Frames. I'll just stop it. Let it go.
Yes.
That stuff there. And so Tom, welcome.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, travelling all the way down.
Impressed.
He's got a couple of things to show us. But I think what we're going to start with.
It's like him holding the controller.
What
Yes,
we're going to
right.
start with, I think we're going to start with is this. I
Yes.
think we're going to start with this.
Yes.
So this is a little bit of artwork. You can see it's very shiny, polishy, and it's inset in resin. There's a lot of depth of resin there.
First attempt.
And so this is Tom's first attempt at doing a little bit of artwork. He's infilled with colour, infilled with resin, and the reason I'm showing you this now is that we're going to give it away.
We are going to
So,
give it away. How? We don't know yet.
Some kind of competition we're going to do through this little bit of show. We'll think,
Yes.
oh, how we'll do it. But one of you viewers will be getting this.
The lucky
viewers was the only one. This is unique.
It is unique.
So one of you is going to get this later on in the show.
Yes.
Lovely jubbly.
I think we're gonna. I don't know if it's possible, but we're gonna try and. I don't know if it's possible with lives, but with regular videos, you can check like the comments and just do like a random, like it checks all the comments that you've had in the video.
We could just pick someone out of all of those comments. you
But
mean?
there's a program that does this, so it's
Okay.
it's
All right.
more
Well,
fair.
we may well do
But-
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, so leave a comment if you're
Yes.
like, or,
We need you
leave
to
a
leave
comment
comments in
anyway.
order to win.
Yes.
Obviously. So
Hey Tristan, why aren't you here, Tristan? Are you coming?
he
still.
may be. We don't know.
Oh, pretty.
So Tom,
Yes.
you've come to show us a couple of bits.
I have just been playing around with some bits and bobs and CNC.
Oh, you have to
3D
speak
printer.
up.
You've got to speak
Oh,
up a bit.
I
Like
think
a
that's-
man.
oh,
Speak
wow.
up a bit.
Speak up like you're limp wrist shape.
Because
yeah.
you're further back. You're way back there. Yeah.
Not like a limp, like a strong,
So, no.
voracious man.
Full on. You see.
Go on.
So you've brought some bits to
Ah,
show
yep,
us.
Yep.
You've been doing some interesting ideas with different ways.
Materials, different. Yeah, just something different.
Hey,
You
Matt.
know,
Different
Ragg-e is
to
made of
a
plastic,
frame.
So we're going for something.
Hey
Of,
Rory.
different to a normal injection molded
Yes.
plasticky frame.
Yeah.
You're looking at very interesting, I might say.
Different methods.
And I
yeah.
think this is artwork in itself, so I'm going to just show you guys as well on the camera. This is one of the moulds.
This
from
is very
Tom's.
rough. It was out with a bit of softer wood, so it's actually
Yeah.
broken, unfortunately, with making it. But
Should we go?
Yeah,
Should
yeah,
we go
well,
to the
let's-
cooking camera?
Let's go to the cooking camera. We have a new camera for you
Ooh.
guys, and we're going to put it over for you over here,
Well, yeah. You
Yeah.
can, yeah.
and then see
Oh, wow.
see what we can get. Hang on.
Oh.
So hello, there you go. There's Carlos. There's a lot of light on that, Carlos. See if you can adjust. That's it.
Yeah.
So that is, when we first spoke, Tom, we was talking about this as a vacuum form mold,
Certainly, but
and it's still that.
yeah, though this is part of that. It developed into other things and different materials while I was working on it. But the idea was to get a local UK source to help me do some vacuum forming over that mold.
Louder, man.
Possibly our friend Chris over at East Coast Customs.
Most definitely.
Look, I
So,
think
yeah.
there's one on its way to him, I
Oh,
believe.
he's already got one, but
Yeah.
there's a few technicalities that need to be ironed out.
Always technicalities. And you've also done this one in 3D print.
Yeah.
That was a test one, Carlos. Do you want to just
Yeah, that was a little test.
cooking
test
cam
one.
that one? That's the kitchen cam, and that's in 3D print. For me, I think that's bloody artful. I wouldn't mind that in a little frame on a wall.
Yeah.
Just looks like a picture to me. I think
nice.
it's beautiful.
Well, the wooden one would be nice. I was thinking of insetting that within
The
the,
wood one,
acrylic,
obviously-
and with the epoxy and making trophies. So
Can't
that would
really
be
show
something
this.
custom made
That's
items.
the first style
Yeah.
one,
You
but
can't
yeah, that,
really show this online, but I like the touch of wood is something completely
Yeah,
different. than
and one, it's
than the
actually
touch
got a
of
little bit of
plastic.
epoxy from where I was doing some other work, which we'll see in a minute. But it's not as smooth as it was, and actually in wood it would make
Smooth enough.
almost a great ashtray,
Pretty good.
Like
it
a
would, like an
funky ashtray.
ashtray or something like arty
actually
or
that's
something
not
like
a bad
that. Yeah.
ashtray, really.
It's
Is it?
really-
Wait. This is Quad ASMR. Everyone be quiet. Where's the? Is this the mic here?
Yeah, that's the mic there.
It's just trying to.
It's a little bit of ASMR.
No
Don't you
idea.
know what ASMR is?
No idea, mate.
You
guys are living in a
I
cave.
know, I know what you're
No
saying.
idea what he's on,
I
but
know
yeah,
what you're talking
something
about.
about that.
But yeah, no, I love working
Oh,
with wood.
the
So
work
yeah, it was
inside
just
as
it was something. I
And you
used to see.
CNC'd that out.
Yeah,
though.
I've used most Fusion. I've used AutoCAD to program it
Okay.
and to design the 3D shape.
Uh-huh.
I then took it into Fusion to actually program the CNC.
Okay.
And used my little tiny 300 by 300 CNC just to cut that shape with a bull nose end mill.
Hey Dan.
I'm wondering, do we have any of those? I don't think we've got any of those pictures up just right now. But if we
no,
had some,
I haven't sent them. I've done it. I was waiting until we came here, and I've sent pictures to yourself. And everything,
Okay.
but yeah.
Okay, so you then moved on from
Aye,
Oh, we're gonna show that.
vac
as well.
forming,
All right.
Yeah.
yeah.
So with vacuum
So
forming
vac
is a
forming
thing.
onto
but
that.
what we need is proof of concept, and we haven't got a proof of concept with that. So I kind of got a little bit frustrated. So I went and made this out of carbon.
And that is
This is
fully
carbon.
molded carbon.
yeah, that is hand laid carbon.
Yeah.
I
God.
understand.
1K twin.
Yeah, so you've laid it in bit by bit and then put the resin on
It's a little
top,
bit
wait
blurry
for
by
it
the
to
looks of
cure.
Is it?
Yeah, there.
But that's damn strong.
Yeah.
That's very
Like-
strong. Can I try and crush it?
Who knows? We're all a bit afraid.
Actually, I'm trying to crush it.
He is trying.
No, I'm trying hard actually. I'm trying to crush it and at the same time
Till it
don't
goes
break
snap.
it, but like just to see how hard it is. But it's quite hard
Yeah,
actually.
But as a proof of
You can-
concept
you
for a
can
carbon
definitely
frame, that's
Fully
Got this.
unibody. The FC was going to obviously be underslung in the back.
yes.
so we'd
I
have to
like
come out.
what you've done there. It's a little bit like Tiny Hawk, where you've got all the electronics underneath, but you've actually got the motors on the top,
Mhm.
which I don't like about.
Well, I love
Tiny
the
Hawk.
Emax. I love the design. It's a great design, but having the motors upside down,
I don't
props,
get that
and
bit,
I don't
yeah.
get that bit.
I don't get
I
that
don't-
bit.
But apart from the design, I mean, even though the way
Yeah.
that their props fit over the tops of the motors is a great design, and I think
Yeah,
that they're
yeah.
keeping that low level. I
They're
think that's
bringing
a
it
really good
down
design.
because they've put the prop around.
Yeah, around the
height,
motor, and
isn't it?
I think that's a really great idea because the one thing with my material which limits me with doing whoops is I only have 12.5 mil material in my plastic that I use for my frames. So with the motor heights and everything, it means the motor has
You've
to
already
push
lost a load of motor.
and with the brushless motors, it's just too much height for the prop level and
Yeah.
the bases. So that's why my material becomes pretty hard to work with ducted frames.
Wait.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're having to make two pieces. You're having to
Wait,
make
wait.
the base for the
That's-
motors
that's-
and also the duct
Are
separate.
you trying to do this sound thing?
Yes,
What
the
am I
SMR.
missing?
Wait.
It's all about making sound.
What?
Kids are watching it, adults are watching it. It's quite weird. It's all over Instagram. It's weird.
Is it? Oh,
very-
it sounds very nice.
You have to whisper it in.
Sounds very nice. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
nope.
So I'm loving the idea.
Yeah, no,
The
but
problem
it's
is
strong.
the
Like
weight.
I was.
At the moment, it's my first ever time
Right.
doing moulding carbon. So at the moment, we've got about 0.5 mil thickness all over,
Uh-huh.
and I think that's actually brought the weight up. We know that it's above 15 grams, so that's the one issue with it. But I think I could probably get that down to 0.25.
I'm still
Just
sitting
looking
here.
at me because I'm smacking this, but
No,
I can tell you that I've been trying to break it, and
Oh.
it doesn't break.
It's pretty strong.
And it
Unless
hasn't
obviously like I go for the weak spots, but if I just grab it like here and try to, I'm trying my best to break it, and I can't.
It hasn't got a clear
It doesn't
coat
even
either,
it doesn't
so-
even flex
I
anything.
don't think you can have an easy time breaking that because of the way the carbon is. But I'm sitting here thinking, I really want to see that as a vac form. I think a vac form might be
But
just
the vacuum
as
form
sturdy.
would be exactly the same shape, and there's ridges
So,
all built
yeah.
into, constructed into. I worked with vacuum forming when I was at college, so I put those principles into that design, and there should be nothing apart from cutting out the ducts.
Your orgasm intensifies.
I like it. I like it a lot. So, yes, it's the smooth sound. I don't
If
know.
it was varnished as well or had the clear coat, you could see the thread through there, but you can't really see because I've only just matte finished.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm just wondering, can we vac it?
I'm wondering, do we go 3-inch? And then the principles are a lot more and a lot easier.
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
but you're just getting bigger.
And then now
bigger
you
and
get
bigger.
cine camera size.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
silly,
no,
isn't it?
yeah.
Well, no, putting GoPro size on,
I don't
using a
think I
GoPro
wouldn't
camera.
want to, because I want the smaller one where I can weave between the people.
I kind of want this in a 2.5-inch would be
in
ideal.
between.
Yes, because the problem that I have is the current 85s that we have. Where's your 85?
We'll have another cup of me.
There, yeah, just behind you.
We're doing tea. We're doing tea. He doesn't care about that. There you go, mate. Yeah. I've got-
Hey,
see, Formula
My
T.
Man TV. Welcome
Yeah.
to the podcast. So you have this, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's not. I'm sorry.
It's way top heavy.
It's way too heavy. Not just top heavy. It's way too heavy. So you can fly it, but there's always that. It doesn't do exactly what you want.
For sure.
And I think if
That
you
is
can,
bigger than that.
yes,
That's
slightly.
already bigger.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I've made
it's
it
almost.
about 10 mil wider.
It's
probably
not.
the
So
same.
this is 40 mil, right?
Yeah.
So 2.5. I would say, if you can make maybe a 2-inch. The problem is that 2-inch, like, it's so weird because between 2-inch props and 2.5-inch props, it's just a difference in control that it's just insane. I wonder if actually like a 2-inch prop would fit here. I'm curious.
It's with the way that the mold's
No.
made. It's
No?
it's
No. No, 1.5 inches at best.
1.5 inch?
At best, if you're lucky.
Shame.
Well, it can be remade. The mold is
Yeah, yeah,
completely
yeah.
broken. I made a wooden mold, which was.
Because this is almost like the size of my 2-inch.
I'm
Or
I'm
you're-
not one that wants to go bigger, so
Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
go.
you're not
but
selling it
but
to
this, well, the selling point is that this doesn't have enough power.
Yeah.
At least for me, for recording like proper
it's very short
cinematic
flight, yeah.
cinematic
It's a very
footage,
short flight.
right? And something like this, if it was maybe slightly bigger, or maybe I'm not sure if this wouldn't work as it is.
I don't think
with,
it needs
with,
all of this. You could remove a lot of the material
Yeah.
with holes, I think, as
Yeah.
well. Because I don't think it needs to be a full top. It's not protection side
So
of
I
things.
wonder, like, if you could
Yes.
convert this into this, but I think that using the props that it has here is not gonna do very good.
We've got 40 mil HQ.
It'll be
props.
the same thing. 40 mil?
HQ,
Well, that's less thrust, so you have less.
but it will work at its speed
You will what?
for longer. It will
Yeah.
work at its speed for longer.
But I don't need longer. I just need more control over it. I don't know if it's because it's top heavy that the 75 is top heavy. That's so.
I think a
like,
lot of this is
brutally,
conjecture. We need to build
Yeah.
it to know it.
How much now?
There's
saying
one
that,
thing
we weighed
on
the
this,
frame
though.
earlier on with
Uh-huh.
the hood.
Yeah.
We didn't weigh it with the camera mount, and it's built
Yeah.
for that system.
So
therefore
you're
it's
saying
probably
the
in
weight of the
comparison-
camera mount
Yeah,
Is gonna be.
is probably
about
about the
right.
same, because that camera mount is quite heavy.
that's a massive camera.
It's RSJ.
I've never seen one of them
it's
before,
the
Jesus.
biggest camera mount in the world.
This is built
Yeah.
with the width of the camera,
Yeah.
so you just need to put some mounting holes to fit that camera, and then it fits.
Yeah.
And we just need to put some insulation in there and give it a go.
Hi,
We've
Neil.
got plenty of foam line about here.
That's
we could make
the
a foam.
thing.
Yeah,
Because this is all carbon, so it's gonna
we could knock together something out of the foam easy.
it's gonna.
The signal
if
is an
it's-
issue I've never
Yeah.
had with
Again,
my frames.
again,
Well, you can make a
carbon
hole here.
and
Yeah.
RF.
Well,
Well,
with
You
the
can make a
fast-
hole here.
With
And put
HDP,
the-
there's
it
not.
doesn't affect
Look,
it.
that's not as bad as flat carbon. It's
Yeah.
big and massive. So.
The only thing that I'm afraid on this.
All right, Neil.
Hey Neil.
I
The only
guess.
thing I'm afraid on this is any shorts, because this is carbon.
You'd have to heat shrink the heck out of it. Yeah.
Chris is saying 65 mil version. I'm just.
What?
We can do a mold for you, Chris, for a 65 mil vacuum form, but
The
I
more
think
you go,
bigger
the more
better.
plastic. Smaller is better.
I totally
what would
agree
that
with
for me?
Chris. I think it should be way smaller.
It was all about the HD camera and making
Yeah,
a
yeah.
platform for
It's
HD.
it's lovely.
footage.
Like if I could put all my electronics here right away and have this flying HD, beautiful.
You'd
They
have
would,
that
huh? Right away.
as it is.
Yes, no hesitation.
I like it.
What I'm afraid is shorting, and that currently it won't have the bottom.
I'll sort of mount
Clearance.
this for that.
Tom does
for the
have a
camera.
3D printed idea for underneath.
Yeah, for the mount.
No, it's not
battery
for
mount.
not for the battery.
For the extra VTX.
It's for the yeah, exactly, not the VTX, this
Okay.
camera mount.
Oh, that camera.
Oh, for the total camera
Yes,
box.
for the turtle
Oh, that's
camera.
fine. We can build
Because
something
it's
in.
gonna be 3 stacks, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Or I guess it can be 2 stacks if you get those new 2S flight controls that Jesse has now. You don't have those yet, do you?
No.
No. Because those are a 2S flight controller with the SCs already inbuilt. So it's this, but with 1 stack instead of 2. Huh? And F4 as well.
But you still got the total ball.
Still have the what?
Big problem.
Yeah, but then it's just 2 stacks.
The size of the total ball.
It's 20
I think,
by 20.
I think it's doable personally, and I think I could probably come up with a 3D mount that would allow it to happen. We've got a lot of mounting material to
There's
be able
loads
to
of
build
space in
anything
there.
off at the end of the
There
day.
is loads
and
of
for
space
this,
in
I mean, I'm going to recut the mount. I don't like in
It's
this
very
is the
nice.
motor mounts. I think they're too thin. I
The
think I
motor
put
mount.
too much material into the hood,
On the hood
and I can remove material from that.
This
The-
middle bit is too
The
thick.
ducts I'm
and these
actually
bits are too
pretty
thin.
happy with, but the motor mounts suck. So yeah.
I like it a lot.
But
Yeah,
I
I
think
like it too.
I think the path that you're on is good.
Yeah.
And I think vacuum forming is
Ha-
so much
totally
quicker
better.
that it is definitely the way forward. I hope Chris can have a look at maybe increasing that. board
My
size.
only worry with the vac forming is where the motors are going to be on these thin arms once it's cut out. Are these vac formed arms
That's
going
why
to
I was
be
saying
able to hold
0.7. I think we need 0.75 or a mil of material to be able to vacuum form.
and it will stretch a bit more here and stay
Yeah, and it will
thicker
go
here.
in the holes and the grooves. I'm going to reduce the depth of these holes and make an actual a mounting bracket out of HDPE. I've decided
further in.
because I can make it thinner with HDPE
I
and a plastic
I
strip.
like it a lot. What do you guys think? Cadix stripped down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much like a Cadex would definitely fit in there.
Oh, Cadex should fit.
It has-
They took their model.
It has the spacing for two stacks. Definitely it has. For 3, that's what I'm a bit concerned on. But for 2, definitely it will fit there for sure. No problem whatsoever.
I think I can make you something very temporary for that one, but
Yeah.
for a design that goes forward, it would have to change, and we'll look at
It's a
them
very
and do something.
interesting part.
But it's strong
I'm
as
curious as well. Like with the camera here, is it gonna capture any of the frame in front? You think?
I don't know. That's quite far forward.
But this is very like.
hell.
Wow, nicely
I'll
done.
do that. I'll sort that out afterwards. It's only a box of batteries.
It's a disaster.
I wanted to put a bit of this
Tom
on just
come
so you can see
round.
the twill. That's, I mean, obviously.
I think if you do
don't
this for
touch
HD, you should consider
Can
moving
you see the twill?
the camera a lot more forward.
Yeah,
He's made
we
it
could move
sticky
the camera.
now.
We'll have a chat afterwards. When
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I've got to just
He's
the
moved.
whole mould
I
again.
can't see the twill.
I can
it is
see
in
the
there.
12,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful finish. Obviously, I don't really work with carbon, so yeah. I mean, I've had a couple of. friends who've got-
I'm still back on the. We need to see it in back form before we can decide too far whether or not it should be carbon.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate that you're enjoying doing carbon. I'm not sure that it needs to be carbon.
No, I think.
I think
vacuum
you could
formed
vac
is,
form
yeah.
that and it will be just as sturdy.
With
And
like the same material that you use for the
Yeah,
Ragg-e.
yeah. But a thinner, you can get that in 2
Way
mil.
thinner.
You can get it in 2 mil and 3
Would it
mil.
break
and
too
all sorts.
easy to use?
No, my stuff wouldn't.
No, hips
No?
don't break. And you'd
And
be
you
hard
can
pushed to
remove
rip it.
material nicely as well, shape it.
And you can
Interesting.
cut that through.
Interesting. Yeah.
But I
Maybe.
could mount that into the CNC and post cut it afterwards once it's been moulded.
See, these are interesting
So, yeah.
techniques. You may be hearing about this the first time.
But yeah, mastering 3D
That will
was
sit
the
in
key.
the mould and then he'll go back in with a different tool and cut out the holes for the arms. Which is an interesting technique.
Yeah.
You know, as long as the processing is step by step,
Mhm.
you're going to be able to get away with quite
Yeah.
a lot of that.
Just have the CNC set up permanently for it.
I would like to
But it would also adapt
see
to
it in back
taking
form.
the carbon, because they would be the same moulds.
Yes.
So we could do a carbon and we could do a vacuum form, and they would be able to both sit in the same jig to be able to cut the holes in the template.
the
That's
post
the key.
jig,
The post
process.
process, and that's the process putting into place.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it.
Okay. Okay. So
Bright days ahead.
bright days ahead. Yeah, bright days ahead.
The 65 mil one might be a thing we would go for, a tiny whoop version, a vacuum version.
What you doing?
I wanted to just show this guy's frame, if I can show it. But you carry on talking. 'Cause You ain't. You're not
Carry on
looking.
talking.
I've
You're
been
not
working
looking
with
at
How
what
are you
I'm looking
doing?
at.
I've been working
Anyway.
with those frames so long that these things are so diddy.
I know.
It's ridiculous. But I can make a mold for that easy. I've got all the component parts.
There were. I remember Jesse was complaining about the. You see those little rivets that come out of the frame?
I like them.
He was. Yeah, I like it. But he was complaining like, oh, should we cut them or not?
No.
I kind of like them. It's not like it's gonna add any.
Just gives you a
weight
little
on
bit
it.
more lift off the ground.
I
for
don't think that
recovery.
hurts it at all. Do you think that really hurts it?
But
in any
please,
way?
what?
About
Why?
half a gram of
What's
material.
this horrible blue thing? Just get one from Chris, please. Can you get a cover from Chris,
Let me know.
please?
No, we
There we go.
we've got loads.
Oh,
of
but this is
Chris's
for
covers.
this is a different.
That's actually the Acro B one. You want these ones here? Have that one there.
There we go.
Yes.
But no, it's just that we've been a bit busy this week.
Busy schmizzy.
Busy schmizzy. We've got some new lipos in. Yeah, let's
Yes.
show you some of these new lipos.
Go on. Let me change to the kitchen camera. We're gonna swap you. Look at that. All right. They can see you now.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
So this
No, you can see
is
that, yeah.
a 205.
205.
That's
Yeah.
a 205. I'm going to line it up next to the 255.
You can put them in the actual
there.
table. Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm so good at this. I'm so good at cooking cam. Yeah?
Yes.
Is that cooking cam, does that look good?
Yeah. They're not lined up, but it's good.
They're not lined up. Right, so this
Super big
this-
of batteries.
is a 333. Look at that bugger.
Jesus.
How much difference in weight?
There is very little difference in where it will come
Yeah.
back down and measure it. But that's a massive battery.
That is a massive battery.
It's pretty much front to back on a drone. So if you look on your 65 size, something.
Probably be on a 75, wouldn't it? Big battery. No, it's 57 mil or something.
Yeah.
75 mil in it.
Can you
It's
see?
like the whole.
It's like full front to back. It's about as big as you're gonna want.
Yeah.
You couldn't put something bigger on a drone. On a
And have you
65.
done tests with like flight time and stuff like that?
They've only just landed, so unfortunately I haven't even had a chance to get in the air.
Okay.
So I'm sure I've sent a couple out. A few have gone out.
Yeah.
Rory's had some. If he's online, he could tell
He's
us
online. Yeah, he was.
how he
I
feels.
saw him a
about
bit ago, but I don't know if he's still on.
them. Yeah.
Rory got a couple of the old Ragg-e Frames. He asked for a couple, so I sent him a couple last week.
Very nice.
Quite enjoyed them.
He's a good boy. He's a good
Okay.
lad.
So we have
Damn good
He's
pilot.
famous.
Lee
he was on
Butler
telly as
here.
well. He was on
He's a
Armageddon.
damn good pilot.
Lee
He's on
Butler here was just sent us a
Oh, that's nice.
something that he printed in 3D print
Does look a bit heavy though.
of what's this?
You'd be
It's
surprised if
a
that's
2-inch frame. All right.
Yeah, you'd be surprised if that's PLA. It won't be too heavy.
So does his ducks do him any much favours? Being
the
so
the
deep?
ducts are super high. From what I
They
can
super
see, it's
high.
like
They're
all of
really
this. Is there any reason for the ducts being this high? Like it's just extra material that you probably could lose in weight.
think
Oh,
you
Rory's there,
also-
by the way.
I think you also,
Is there no infill?
isn't it with their airfoils on the tops of ducts that you need that
Possibly,
return
if I
and having the
can
dead
get it,
air underneath, so it's almost having a flush.
I'm
You're
interested to try it.
negating some of that lift as well.
Some of the
Some of the lift.
colander,
Yeah, Coaland effect.
coalander, something
Yeah.
like that.
It's definitely interesting getting
and that
a
effect
It looks
is
good though.
getting
It
a
looks solid
2-inch.
as a rock.
Thanks.
getting it.
It's like really. Yeah, are you the doctor?
I'm
This is
operating.
the doctor's chair. This chair is for the doctor.
Oh, we didn't transit actually.
You didn't even see. You're not even transiting.
There we go.
Poor people. So what we're looking at is the height of it here, the extra-ness, and Thomas is mentioning that normally you'd have a lip here, and that's where the coander. I think it's
Coaland
coander.
effect. I think it
I
does.
think
have
the
some of
coander
the lift
effect actually
on
does
there.
a bit of lifting there, and again that only works if it's bang
It
horizontal.
slows it down on bottom
Bang
and it's
horizontal.
speeding
As
over
soon
the
as you
top. Yeah.
tilt, that's gone.
Yeah, it's a leveling purpose, so that's why they
Yeah.
gave that up in the American Army, wasn't it? Because it actually self-leveled all the time, and they had to throw the weight around in the craft to get it to move. So that's why they gave up on that
So
kind of the
being that he doesn't have it, maybe he's better off.
Well, it won't
It looks good, though.
self-level.
No.
Or-
The effect on the duct,
Yes.
this curve
Yeah,
you've got
that
here,
curve there.
you
Uh-huh.
get lift just underneath this curve,
Okay.
and what was happening was that it was returning itself back to
self-leveled.
horizontal.
Yes.
So it was re-leveling. So in order to go forward, you had to shift the weight too
Yeah.
much.
Or put more power.
It's a very
It's
difficult
either or
proposition.
at the end of the day.
So they scrapped the whole idea. So what I'm saying is, being that Lee has not got that on his frame there, yeah, we haven't. Is it better for him to not have the lip and just go straight? Can you see what we're talking about? It's just
But
over
then
the
it's
top
it's
of the
losing.
side.
It's losing lift.
It
then.
is losing.
Not really,
yeah,
because
the motors would
what's-
have to work harder again.
Yes. That might be a reason why your cut Ragg-e for the.
It didn't have that lip.
It doesn't have the
I
lip.
was
And I noticed it's like, why doesn't this have as much power as all my other whoops? Like it weighs the same thing.
Unfortunately, with that frame.
Interesting.
Well, no.
I didn't know
Benedict
about
did
this.
the duct
Does it
test.
affect
Yeah,
it
the
on
duct is-
this one?
Yeah, he did a
That
duct
doesn't have
test.
anything.
Yeah, but
Then
it
you've
does.
got the slowing of the air through the material.
I think that's
here,
going to
Yeah.
But this
improve
doesn't
the
have any of the
speed.
lips on there. No,
I
I
think that-
don't know.
And it does affect it.
I
Like
think
this
Hang,
flies
hang
like
on,
crap.
Lee's
It would
telling us
probably
some stuff
create
here. Let me read
noise
what
and
Lee's saying.
vibration.
The bigger you go, fully printed to each. Yeah, it's not like I get 50% throttle to hover.
50% is still.
That's a little bit high,
It's a
but
little bit high. Like, does it need all this material here on the
Yeah,
top?
you could
Is
remove some.
is one of the,
The
stuff
walls
like?
look quite thick as well. I mean,
did
you
you
could probably
guys see
reduce
the
walls.
guy he made
But he's saying he downloaded the file
a
anyway.
bladeless drone? Did you see that? And it was just-
Bladeless
Yeah,
drone.
it was just tubes, four
With,
tubes.
yeah.
It's essentially the same principle.
Well,
isn't it?
Harrier is,
Yeah,
pretty
but
much.
it's gonna be very inefficient.
You're not moving the tubes.
Well, see, from what I understand, is that this prop tip has to be very, very close to this
Yeah,
duct
the
in order for
tolerance.
it to be what you're asking it.
Yeah.
A ducted fan,
Yes.
like an EDF. So
Yeah.
this isn't really a ducted fan
No.
because there's too much turbulence faffing about in the corner.
Correct. Yeah.
So is it good or is it bad?
I don't
I think
know.
it
I
would
mean,
probably
have
create
you
noise.
tried it, Lee? How does it fly?
Well, it says 50%.
There's an L4 shape to the ducts. I just didn't want the full lip to keep overall size and went out as much as I could. Also, it prints without supports. Oh yeah, true. Well, you could just remove
It
supports
looks good.
afterwards.
I like it.
Yeah, interesting about the lip though. Like that's very like on
Could
a.
have done, yeah, and that could have been what the frame. It was very thin tolerances. We were almost on the maximum with HDPE with that frame. I mean, those arms they were
Yeah,
0.75 millimeters.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean, to keep that weight down. I mean, we could release a bigger one, but I just don't think it's the right material for the job.
No.
Unless you could use my cup thing and then heat it on a
Well,
vacuum form and press it to create a lip.
I'll try and create a lip on the
I
on the
could,
top.
cut, I
just
could
like,
cut it thicker. It's only 6 mil thick, so
Yeah.
I could make that duct thicker on that.
Interesting.
But it just depends on the interest, really.
What are you doing?
There is still any.
I'm trying to find this guy's frame, which I had earlier on ready.
Oh, that one there. I saw that this
Yeah,
morning.
but
Oh.
every time I go to it,
Stunning.
it doesn't bring it up. So
No, because he took it away.
I mean, it's
What do you mean
huge.
it took it away?
Click there. See?
Yeah.
Couldn't find. It took it away.
No, that's because it's looking at that rubbish up there.
Just go to him himself and see his posts. Do a search for his
I've done
name.
that twice. Anyway, you guys have your.
Yes. So
That one. Go back up. Sorry, go back up. The white one there is quite interesting. It's using hemp fibers and a carbon fiber printing process. So it's the
This
first
is what
like,
Tom's talking about.
hemp produced
So like
material.
hemp fibre.
Yeah, hemp fiber.
So you can
not
smoke it?
It's as strong
No,
as carbon
don't
fiber.
smoke hemp.
I mean, if you not know, they did like hempcrete and all that kind of stuff back in the 60s, 70s in the army or in the wars, at the ends of the wars, and they were using it to create really, really strong materials. And we know it can be a building material, but yeah, first time I've seen carbon fiber,
interesting.
Hemp fibre.
hemp fiber.
That's really, really
Is
interesting.
it strong then?
Yeah,
Yeah, hemp
Yeah, well,
fibre is very
especially with
strong.
the epoxy, and it will absorb instead of carbon doesn't absorb the resin. That hemp material will absorb the resin and will become much stronger. It'll probably
'Cause
be
this-
stronger than carbon.
Really? This looks like those crackers that you just like.
No, not at all. No, it'll be I reckon it'll be stronger than carbon
All right.
fiber.
Okay.
Sounds like a jet engine.
Well, it would do. It'd probably sound like 4 little EDFs, wouldn't it? We're
Yeah.
talking about Lee's one.
Yeah, yeah.
That would sound like 4 little EDFs going off.
There we
And
go.
There it is.
If I understand the way that Lee's done it, yeah, is that
Just
from
transition.
yeah, I know about the
Oh.
transition. I'm still talking about Lee.
Yes.
Is that he's trimmed the props down as best he can, and then that scraped its own little hole
Ah, okay. I get it.
inside, yeah. which is interesting, I think. Okay, so that's probably the best screen
This
I can
guy's
get
got
for
a great
this.
vision.
So yeah, this is T.M. Chow. Yeah, I wish I could. What his first name was.
Terminator.
Can I do better? Let's do that one.
I made
So he wanted this airplane. That was his desire, and it looks very good. Here's his video. I just think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So he's
stunning.
taken all
Heavy.
of the. I don't know how heavy it'll be. There's not
It
a
will be
lot.
heavy. But yeah, you're
Yeah,
looking
but
at
he's
multiple
taken
things.
that design inspiration, that community inspired, product there.
community inspired
Community
product.
inspired. Yeah, it's all community inspired.
No, this wasn't community inspired. This was, he did
Okay.
it.
This is not community inspired. There's a lot of things that is community inspired, and we'll talk about community inspired stuff in a while. And I just like it. What he's done, he's just taken a plus frame, but what he's done for me is that he's added all of these extra strikes out here in the back, these couple of 3D printed bits, and overall, it's what I'm asking for. When you put that on a table, people will go, wow, what's that? That's right, interesting.
Yeah.
I want something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I saw.
Ryan seems to have one creation himself sitting in the cupboard.
Oh, yeah, Ryan, that was nice. So Ryan got what I think was a doinker or something like that.
Oh, what now?
So it was 2 carbons
Yeah.
with a foam in between, a fat piece of foam like this thick,
Okay.
with the holes cut out,
Yeah.
and it just all became too heavy and too much. It just wouldn't fly nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was catching too much wind when it's turning. It wasn't happy. We tried our best, Ryan. You know that we did, didn't you? It just wasn't good. It just wasn't good. So back to this guy.
Yes. Go on.
That's the frame. I think
That's very
it looks.
nice.
I think it looks
Stunning.
gorgeous.
I think
I
you should have the motors on the bottom though.
I saw something a while ago.
Possibly.
It was a Terminator head. A gentleman in the rotor ride, but he made a Terminator's head on out of metal and stuck that on a quad, and it's just a bit of artwork. And I think he
Yeah.
only makes one-offs, but yeah, it just reminds me of his kind of thing that he was doing.
Just something, for me, different is what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to see a boring bit of carbon
Yeah.
anymore. I'm sick
Did you
of
see
it.
the latest
there's-
Droners thing
I'm
with
sick of
Andy
them.
Shen on it? That was
I
really
did
good.
see.
It was
I
genius.
did. Andy
Doing
Shen
it
is a
now.
genius. He really is. He knows way more than he says.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just looks like he has fun.
Well, yeah, I suppose he does. He
Right.
does.
So you were talking about what was it? Community-oriented products.
Community inspired.
Community-inspired products. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and I just couldn't believe how cheeky these people were. Yeah. I'm just going to show you that these are them, and they're talking about the switched up and that, and blatantly while they're talking about the hover.
Look at that! That's a hover.
That is a Hoover there.
Is that a Hoover?
That is a Hoover there.
What
right
what did they
there.
call it, by the way?
They called it. They called it. What did they call it? A switched. I think they called it.
That's the switch, but
That's
they,
their
they,
switch.
don't they sell just the Hoover by itself?
A skirt. Yeah. He
Well, what
called
do they
a
call it?
skirt, Yeah.
Oh, they
he
call
calls
it a
that
skirt. Our skirt.
He calls
And
that a skirt, and
it looks very different from anything that I've seen before.
yeah, we've never seen anything look anything.
Is
like
this a
that.
community?
And well, he does say it's community.
But when we got to mess with it, we were thinking, oh man, there's a lot of different things that you can do with this.
What else could we do with it?
Absolutely. So that's exactly what we did. We had to try to, and so
Somewhere around here.
Somewhere.
I just thought that was right cheeky.
it was very community inspired.
Oh, there you go.
So community.
So community, we just blatantly robbed you, is what they should have said. But that's fine. We're not bitter.
No, I think it's
Yeah.
community inspired.
We're not bitter at all.
It's community.
Yeah? So we haven't decided to just copy their design and release it to the public. We're going to be releasing this to you, and then we'll just give you all the sizes. And
Was this hobby? What was it? What are they called?
Horizon.
Horizon hobby inspired.
This was community inspired. We know they're part of the community as well, aren't they?
That's true. Everyone's
So
part
they've
of it.
inspired us, and then this one down here is a little bit different. This is what's going to happen to this. This is Carlos.
Yes.
Recently got one of these. So
Yes.
let's see if we can bring what you've got into camera. Unless you want to put it in the kitchen, Carlos.
Huh? No.
Um,
Put it in the kitchen.
So Carlos got one of these. You know one of these. This was who was this? Relay CC.
No, this is Ichin.
Oh, Ishin did this one.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Ishi-
So Ishin did this copy of something that you may know, your product that you may know of. But I did like this rear motors flippy up bit with the servo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They improved it.
And
They
that's what's
improved
going
on
to
it.
fit in the back end of that one over there. Yeah.
Yes. So we're converting this.
So we're going to convert this, so we'll have two types
So
for you
are
to
you
see.
gonna
And
have
I was trying to convince Jim.
Okay, you're not going to make these so
What?
these can go vertical. And
Yes.
kind of, you
Yeah,
are
yeah.
Gonna make it
That's
so they
why
can
it's
go vertical.
spaced
Yeah,
there.
so-
Yeah, no.
So
What
this
the-
here is just the same spacing as that, and then this one will be your
Oh, cool, yeah.
your switched up, cloned up,
Switch
cloned air. Yeah, clone air. That one. That's what we'll
Smidge.
call this one.
Smidge air.
Yeah, this one here.
Community airline.
Community inspired. Yeah. So that's that stuff there.
Yes. And we want to build one. I want to build it today, but he doesn't want it.
I don't. I'm.
You just need to cut it, and we can try it.
We can. Yeah, but I haven't finished the drawing yet. I've still got to do this space.
You don't need the drawing. Come on. Last time
Still need the
last time when we were
spacing.
trying to build a wing, I was like, no, let's just look it online. And it was like, screw that.
That was very
I'm just gonna
fortunate.
cut
That
it
was very
right now.
fortunate.
I'm
I
just gonna
totally
cut it.
admit that was very, very fortunate. I don't know if I'll be able to pull that one off the same way again.
Boo.
Yeah.
Not while we're on here.
Boo.
But not while we're here to talk. We're here to talk about
But the
drones.
kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something later.
We love drones too. Drone review, man of all drones. Yeah, we love them a lot. We're addicted. So
Yes.
that's going to come out soon. We're going to be doing that.
Yes.
Because I was doing something else this week.
What were you doing?
I was doing a motion actuator.
Motion actuator.
That's
yes.
my project. Was what I was doing this week.
Okay.
And so what it is,
You can show it now.
I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can set up the video of what I was doing from last week. Some of you might have seen it. I don't know who has or hasn't seen it.
I think we've shown it actually on the last stream.
Did we?
Yes.
Did we show it a bit on the last stream?
I think so. Yes.
Okay, so
I
we
think
showed
you've
it a
shown
bit
the
on the last
video.
stream, and I did a few more changes to it. Nothing major, but now I've decided that I'm going to do it in plywood.
And plywood.
Yes. So plywood for me, I think is going to work.
It's nice to cut on your laser too.
It's nice to cut on the laser, but I'm more interested in
What are you
the.
looking for?
I'm looking for our chat.
It will be up.
It's
There
not
we
there.
go.
There it
Third.
is. Thanks for showing me how to use Facebook. I think the plywood is going to last longer. It'd be more robust because this is going to get put in and taken out, a few times. Yeah. So,
Is that it?
Lunatic
No.
woman. It's going to get
There
put
we
in and
go.
taken out a few times. So I wanted it to be a lot more robust than I would have managed in faux. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
This
all
is
my stuff.
this is
That's
the
what we want to
video.
show, yes.
This is the video, but it's changed since this one.
Is it a video? Yes.
Yeah. And you can't actually see the actuator.
And then speed it up a bit.
Quite tricky.
Oh, it is quite trippy.
Wow. Oh, that's very fast. I haven't seen it this fast.
Oh, it's quite trippy.
It's like a dog humping your leg.
Okay, 1 minute. It's not in your chat anyway. So it's changed a bit. But what it is for me is that I've gone from here's a gate, yeah, to let's change it to this now. Here's an actuator that moves your gate.
Yeah, much nicer.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Did you get it with the magnet that fixes to ceilings?
I've
to
actually
light
got
beams
clips
and
on
stuff?
those. Okay, so the idea was, if I did it in the phone, I'm going to struggle to attach it to things. Which is again brings me back to the plywood. In ply, I can quite easily cut a few slots, and you can
Do acrylic.
lipo strap it. Acrylic will snap. You can lipo strap it to a pole.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's easier ways. I can do slits for you to hang it.
Yeah. yeah.
In foam, it's going to become very quickly
It'll, yeah.
damaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, too right.
Yeah?
And it bend as well.
So the positive of all that faffing about this week is that we've decided to use a different material.
That's good.
Yeah.
Easy to cut
And it's an
through as well,
actuator.
yeah.
So, and this is Carlos is now involved in this project.
I am.
Is so your
I am.
capture the
yes.
flag.
Yeah.
Your capture the flag Arduino project, I think is awesome because we repurposed that
Yeah.
to do the iris gate.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know it can control a servo.
Yes.
We need the way of powering it and all that malarkey. But
Yeah.
we could put that capture the flag into the actuator,
Yeah.
control the 2 servos. One good thing about this, if you can see, one of these servos is going a little bit slower than the other.
Oh, you have to.
So, okay, we have to transition it. But one of these servos is going a little bit slower, and that helps us with this motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a continuous repeated motion, that. And that's because one's going a bit slower.
Yeah.
Our Juno could do that for us.
Yeah.
You can also give it to us where they go in different directions, or just one of them turns.
Yeah.
Because that's a different action as well.
Yeah.
So you can also, with the RX, give us motion only as we approach.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we could do motion and lighting effects. I'm thinking about doing a gate that when you fly through it, it turns on blinding LEDs
Hey, do not.
for the guy behind you.
It turns what?
Blinding LEDs. So you fly through the gate and then a load of LEDs come on and the next guy trying to go through the gate can't see it because it's really blinding. Like, I like the idea.
Why?
Mario Kart in the
only
air.
for a second or two. Yeah?
One turns on the dice.
There's someone else's idea.
Just to change up, how it's happening.
Change it up.
Just to change it up, yeah?
All right.
You don't like that
I
idea?
think it could work. I do think
But-
that Mario Kart thing where you
I like
could affect-
difficulty, but I don't like throwing a banana for the other guy to slip on and
Oh, why
go
not?
out of the
What's
thing.
best
No,
bit
because
about
it's
Mario Kart?
race.
See, I think if we could get this nub down with the Arduino side of it, you could go to Nerf
Make it
gun
into
type
game.
thing and have
There's
something
someone already
shoot
made
you.
that.
Marketplace.
No, that's
no,
That's
shit,
someone
no,
else.
Too late now.
Someone else's idea already. You thief.
you cloner. Yeah. But I think that will be
Disoriented
to
pilot.
disorientate the pilot. That's what I'm trying to go for. Like when you was flying around a lot of that stuff at Tiny Whoop,
Yeah.
when you was going into that infinity tunnel,
Yeah.
it was quite disorientating.
Yes,
That's
but
the
for me,
feeling.
not for the next guy.
Well, I want to make it for everybody.
But then it won't be for you. It will just be for the poor bloke that comes behind you.
I want the flashing light thing.
Yeah.
All right, that's just one idea.
Okay.
Could you not separate? Oh no, that's worth thinking about. You could separate and give it to different channels, so you could then have different effects for different channels. Could you not?
Yeah, I suppose you
In
could do
theory.
it. Would register your channel. It knows what channel you're flying.
So you
by.
could have it the second
your
person
VCA.
gets a total boost up, and he gets to blind the first person.
How does he get a
Maybe.
boost though?
But because he would get that signal, and so if he was close behind, he could actually activate that signal. I don't know. I was just thinking out loud.
Well,
really
you
at the
could
end
do
of the day.
mad
If-
stuff where
if
you could
could
have
separate
two
channels
gates.
at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
you could have
you
two
know.
gates. Yeah, and you fly through this gate, and it knows you've flown through, and it's going to shut this thing within 5
Yeah.
seconds. You have to fly
You
within
could, you
2
could. The
seconds.
possibilities there for sure.
Do you see what I mean? Like once you've gone through this gate, this thing is going to shut within
I think
this
that's
time.
just this type of stuff annoys people. It's
No,
really
I've-
good in
In one time, this isn't
Fun race.
a
rather
regular
than, yeah,
thing. You know, this is allowing you to do things.
yeah.
Time
I'm
trials.
just giving you suggestions.
Yeah.
And if we have the actuator system
Yeah,
The
yeah.
actuator with a
with
With
a
proximity.
brain,
but
and
with
a
the
bit of
proximity is works like
the
if you-
proximity. We know it's hard because you need to shield it out.
Yes.
But we could work on that idea. Initially, for me, it's just an actuator
Yeah.
because right now, gates just sitting there. I want them to move.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's hard to cobble the things together to make it move. Which is why I'm saying if I just cut you out an actuator,
Yes.
there it is. You throw 2 servos in, the controller goes there, the brain goes there. Yeah, that's all fixed and solid for you. That's the hard bit.
Okay.
Yeah, what that you decided to do would be up to you. You could have 2 arms waving. I saw one recently, and the guy had like a crab thing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
kind of it was
it was
almost
quite
like
interesting.
cartoony.
It was huge, it was humongous. Yeah, but it was
It
quite
worked, yeah.
interesting. I fancy flying that kind of
It's
stuff.
almost like going to crazy golf kind of course. It's,
A
it's,
bit
it's
like
almost
Crazy
that
Whoop.
crazy whoop.
A bit like Crazy Whoop,
Crazy
like,
Whoop House or Fun House or something. Jesse, there's an idea for you.
and like, I'm liking features.
Yes.
Features.
Yeah. I like features.
But my problem with features
Yeah.
is what do I do with it at the end of the race?
Hang it from above your ceiling and hit your head on it.
Oh, where do you store them?
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do I do with it?
Have you seen what we've done inside?
If we can work out features,
Oh gosh, lights and also.
if we can work out features that collapse,
Yeah,
I'd be much happier.
they collapse.
Yeah, that to me is way more important.
So that
The
might,
storage of the feature.
yeah, the storage of the feature. So that might segue in
Nicely.
to
Like a
my
segue.
project.
Do you like a segue? I like a segue. Everyone likes a segue.
I'd like to see an air tunnel upright tube to fly in and get
Shot out the top.
shot at the top with a big fan in the bottom.
The fan won't shoot you,
They
but
had
if we
that
could
up-
pressure
They
shoot
actually
you.
had that.
No, the fan will
on-
push you. Yeah, that's not very hard to do.
Rory,
actually.
remember, he was on a program, CBeebies program called Armageddon, and they had this vortex. Rory, no, he was with my
Yeah.
daughter on Armageddon, and they were on TV. But they had this big fan at the bottom, and they had this vortex. They had to go through a tube or a circle at the top or a hoop, and they had to make it through without hitting. But yeah, he flew it.
Rory knows all about it.
Was what? They were flying whoops?
No, these things
They were
were
much
a metre
bigger.
and a half.
They
like,
were way bigger.
Huge.
What
things.
was he
Way,
flying
way
with?
Flying around a huge
Way
hangar.
bigger.
All the
They
kids.
fly the kids.
They're all line of sight, not a fair.
Oh, they were
yeah.
flying stuff, not
Yeah, yeah.
It
not
was
not.
Armageddon drone.
All right, little Bill, it's your turn. Ah!
No,
No, it was Armageddon
not
drone.
in the drone.
okay.
They
It
were
was
flying it from
a kid with an
Okay, okay.
adult. That's
Yeah.
why Tom was with his daughter. It was
Yeah.
the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah?
But I thought maybe the kids were.
No,
They
no.
were throwing the kids into
The
the.
BBC are not
Yeah,
that
so-
lunatic.
So
Equipment
this is all
broken
possible
that
with
day.
Arduino. Is possible, and there is actually a fan that what's it called? Tristan let me knew last year. It's powered by 5 volts.
Okay.
So this is all very doable.
How powerful is that fan?
It's powerful enough for you to be in the tube and blowing air in your face.
Not nicely. Okay.
And you're
So,
not
all right,
hot,
so that's another
which is why I
one.
bought the fan.
So that's another one where
Yeah.
it can turn on or off
Yeah.
on demand.
Yeah, that's not very hard to do.
Well, that's the same as me asking for lights blowing in your face.
You just
isn't
now
it?
need to get a big
No, but that because that will be for everyone, not just for the guy, the poor bloke behind. I don't know.
Well, you don't like the guy behind getting a thing.
No, I think everyone should get it.
Or you have a sensor that's placed before, and it's the
Because then
second
you're not
place that
going to
sets up the
experience
first
this, right?
place.
So what about you go into the tunnel and then you get flashing lights? How about that?
Great.
There we go.
That's an option.
That's a little bit better. Because then everyone gets it.
That's what I'm saying to you. Here's the gate, that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah, that was the
actuator, and
original
here's the
thing, yeah.
feature.
All right.
Yeah?
So you were talking about let's go to
It
my
went off
stuff.
on multiple angles there, I think, actually.
Right, let's go to the, should we go to kitchen cam?
Go on, go to kitchen cam.
I'm going to go and look over at kitchen cam.
Hello. Today.
Hello, today we are at kitchen cam.
We have this beautiful stuff here to cook. We're gonna put a little bit of salt. No, so what have I done here? First, gates. So one of the things that I noticed a lot when we were in Tiny Whoop is that every single gate was lighting up, shining, flickering, whatever, right? And it seems to me that here in the UK, at least the very few amount of races that I've been in, it's like static gates. It's either like a gate that's lit up,
Unlit. Just A-lit and
A-lit,
not
yeah.
flashing.
yes,
Or
or just some sort of circular gate that doesn't
Yeah.
do much.
Because they did have a lot of sequencing action, but there was
Exactly.
some right smart people programming stuff going
Yes.
on.
There
Yes,
is a couple.
that's
of people
correct.
Yeah.
The,
There was.
the interesting thing though, and this I think again this is more for a visual for the people watching the race, not so much you as the pilot, because you as the pilot, when you see like a bunch of LEDs, it's all the same color. You can't really
Nah,
distinguish
they all
what the
mesh in.
color is. Yeah,
They all just
mesh
mesh
into
in.
the color. But you know, it's visual aspect. It's nice for people that are watching the race to see all these blinking colors go by.
For sure.
And it turns out that these type of gates already exist in the world,
Okay.
but they're crap.
They didn't
So
think
the
about
gates that I'm talking about are the ones for TBS.
the TBS gates.
The TBS gates. The problem I see with the TBS
I
gates
found them a
is,
bit bright.
no, I think you can reduce the light
brightness.
right down.
Okay.
The problem that I see with the TBS gates though is that they're too small. They're not like the size that we have for gates.
Okay,
For
yeah, yeah.
whoop gates. They're
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
like if I get
They are a very small square,
yes. If I
or
get
rectangle even.
if I get a whoop gate out,
I've got them everywhere. There's
I
some
know, I
just
thought you
behind
might
you.
do.
There's some just behind you. There's an open one there.
Oh, is there? Oh, no, it's open. So if I get the gate out,
He's got one there.
it's quite large, right?
That
See
is, I think it was 45 centimetres, something
Yeah.
like that.
And if you see the measurements of the original gate from TBS, so the gate that you see underneath is a TBS one. It's just this
Straight
is the
up.
path that you have to enter the gate.
Super Pro
it's
gates.
just too narrow.
Super Pro.
Yeah. So what I've done is,
And when the lights are on, that gate out feels even smaller.
yes. So what I've done is I've opened up the gate.
So you cut the top off.
I checked where the start of the wiring was on one of the ends, and it basically goes all the way around the gate and ends up here again, right? So what I've done is that I just cut the start from the end bit, so it doesn't damage any of the lights in the beginning. And I figured out that at the end bit of the other, so of one of the corners that I wanted to cut, it actually has the connection for the next section of LEDs, right? So that means that you can cut the LEDs safely on this side.
Yeah.
And when you turn it on, let me see if I can find a lipo. And the controller.
We're well prepared here
Well
today.
prepared, so prepared. So that's it. Look at that. And it's an open gate that.
How do you
Fits on
stop
the
them
side,
flying too high?
That's the thing. This has to be placed around in a course that kind of guides people rather than
Have it attached
forces
to the
them
wall
to.
and an open gate that way to go around.
Yeah, this is kind of like rather than
Cone rather than a gate.
rather than having a gate that you have to go through the gate, you have something that guides you through the gate. So after this gate, probably you would have another one like this. So that means that you can't really avoid flying through this. This is like a guide for the next.
Like the Dubai racetrack.
The cool thing is that when you set several of these in section, let's imagine that the first one you set like this.
The next one.
The second one you set like this. The next one you set upside down.
Yeah.
The next one you set like this. If you set them all in line, you're gonna have, and you look from the front, you're gonna have one giant tunnel.
I totally agree. I think that's a way better than having them as just.
And not only that, this can be a gate, but nothing says that it can't be.
How have you joined the corners at the moment? Just heat shrink.
Join the corners? No, I'll let you know
Okay.
in a second. So this can also be like a turn gate.
Yeah.
Right. And because these gates from TBS already come with a little magnet underneath.
Yeah.
You can just attach to anything that's magnetic.
They're easy to hang.
So what I've done to make this.
How much was those gates?
A little bit pricey.
It was like 70 quid or something, wasn't they?
Yeah. But you can do this sort of gate with. You just need LEDs, and you need some sort of
And the
controller.
sequencer.
Huh?
And the sequencer.
And you need a control, like you can use, for example, our Arduino, like we used with those LEDs that were made for the O'Reilly gate. I think that the cool underrated thing that this has is that there's another thing that you can add to this that comes with the TBS. If I can find it. No, here it is.
That is interesting.
Wait, but there's more.
Can you maybe turn that light off? Because you can't. I don't know if you can see that they're flashing really nicely in sequence. The one
What light?
above you. Yeah, that
This?
one. Yeah, see that it's a lot nicer. But you are still. Can you turn it down?
Turn what down?
Can you
Brightness.
the brightness down?
Yes, you can. If I find out how.
Hi, Matthew.
Brightness down. There we go.
It's still bright.
I think
Dimmer.
that's what turns it on.
More dim. Still bright.
That's well unlit now.
Well, look, that's unlit there, but look how bright it is on the camera.
Yeah, because there's absolutely no light. I think that's as low as it goes.
Turn the big light on first then. Let's see what happens.
And you can make a different
So
color.
that's my problem with LED is all of the blur.
Yeah, but
I
if you
think
have,
we need
as
to
long
look
as you
for
have
a
like,
different light source.
as long as you have like light on the course, like even the small amount of light. Look at now. Now it looks like it's unlit.
Like they're
right?
unlit.
Yeah.
I think we need a different light source. I'm going to start looking into electroluminescence.
Electroluminescence.
Yeah. EL. So
yeah, EL lights.
EL
EL
panels.
strips and lights.
I'm not so sure about the wire. I think that's too thin.
You get it from motorbike helmets. From
Yeah, but
Bangor
they're
at the
very
moment.
thin, aren't they?
No, they're like pads, like a little
Right.
strip of pad. You can get them all different shapes with like to go on the top of it, and they got a little battery pack. That's
So-
it, yeah.
Okay.
What I wanted to
What you want to do? What you want to add to it?
Yes, what I want to add to it is that you might not know, but there is. Where did I this on?
Just plugging things in.
I think it's here. Disconnect that. You add this here. Did you know as well that with these gates, there's this little TVS tracker.
Yeah, I got one of them.
It comes with it, right? But did you know that you can connect the tracker directly to the LED light gate?
No. I did not know that. And
Which
what does
means
that do?
that when a little when a drone comes flying in, it will light in the color
Of that particular drone.
of that particular drone. That's correct. Oh, there's something.
So you can mark who went through the last. Like.
So this detects a drone, which has a predetermined assigned color, and this will light up for the color of that drone that's coming in. And this is pretty good detected. Now this is Trappy. If you're watching, please open up the source for this, because the current system that allows for that to happen is
slow.
beyond crap.
Okay.
Now, if we were able to have this system be able to communicate with the LEDs better and say like, oh look, my drone is the number 2 drone, which is going to be red, and I have to code it in red, that will be a lot more interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but Trappy will never sell you to that for the price that the Arduino and one of the receivers.
It doesn't matter. This is already a product that's being sold.
Yes.
It just needs to open up
That's
code for people like Hydro FPV to code in different stuff for this, to code in the system that they have for this. That's what I was talking about. I think we talked this like two podcasts ago, like the use of this system. This is what I'm trying to design for my course. Is this, but it already exists. It's just it's closed source, and the only program that touches on this is absolutely, it's beyond bad. So please, Trappy, if you're watching, if anyone knows Trappy, annoy the shit out of him. Tell him you came from me. Ask him, please. I don't know. Work with Hydro FPV. Release open source of the code for this. Anything. Please, Trappy. Please. I love you. Please. Please, Trappy.
So you're saying that would be better than us just doing our own little.
This would be
bit
much
of code?
better. Because the components that are in here are quite good, actually. And this is a self-sufficient source. The only thing that you need to do is be able to connect to it. And it even has Bluetooth that connects to that app. But imagine if all of the power that you have here can connect instead of a stupid app that does
Nothing.
it's very, very bad. There's like one person. Instead of connecting to that app, connects to a computer. And you're able to program it when someone comes through, light up 1 LED or 2 LEDs, or light up the amount of laps that person's been directly in this gate. That's my whole project that I'm doing. Except it already exists, but it's closed source, and
Yeah, but you're
no one
waiting
had
for
the thought
Trappy to release it, and we're
Huh?
going to sit here waiting for Trappy
Email.
to release that. That's not going to happen.
well, that's what I'm.
You're begging
Trappy,
Trappy.
please, Trappy.
Trappy, if you're listening, we know you listen.
Trappy
We know
doesn't
you.
listen to this.
We know.
Someone go in and write Trappy.
Sort it out. You've
Give him
upset
this-
Carlos.
What,
He's
what
the
minute
world's
is this?
favourite pilot, you know.
What minute is this?
Don't upset
This
him.
is
It's an hour in.
1 hour, 2
We're
minutes.
an hour in, and we're talking
1
to
hour
you
in.
directly,
Just give him
Trappy.
the reference code for this for the time lapse. 1 hour into this video, Trappy, please go watch it. Please, Trappy. Please, I beg you.
Look, if he did, it would sort out his product, and I don't see why
You
he
would-
would worry, because you'd still sell more of those units.
Yes.
Because I'd want that unit.
Because right
then.
now this is a toy. This
Right
does
now, my
nothing
one
than-
of those has sat in my box for so long,
Yes.
I've forgotten I've got it.
Same with me.
Yeah? Because
Same with me.
ultimately, it's not that useful.
No, it tells you the time in your app that barely works, and maybe it works for one person, and that's it.
So you're saying don't use it as a race timer, use it as
You
a
can use it as a race timer.
as
It's-
a
it's
controller.
A controller, yeah, but it's so useful that you could even use this as a race timer.
Do you think Trappy even thought about its use as a controller
Yes.
and not as a race timer?
But I think what Trappy has for like bigger races is an actual box that costs a lot more, like 700 quid or something,
And
like
that-
a proper race box.
And then that
But-
does control the lights like you're asking.
I don't know if it does, but I think it does a lot more. The thing is that that's all nice and good for big races, for like professional races, but what about for small people? If
For
you
your
just want to
locals.
race with a couple of friends, but you want something, something nice, something legit.
How
This
many
would
of
be
those?
ideal, wouldn't
hang
it?
on, you would need one of those per gate.
No. This tracks up to eight people.
Yeah, but you're using it to control
Per
a gate.
You can control a gate, yeah, one gate,
Just the one gate.
just the one gate, yeah.
But
Well,
it's
why
a-
do you need more? You just need to.
No, he was saying, can it do multiple games?
No, Carlos is talking about the start-finish gate.
Yes.
And I'm talking about the whole course.
No. This controls one gate,
Then I would rather go for the
But you could
Arduino
have
project.
which controls
It'll
one
be
gate.
yes, but it'll be a low for the cost of that. I could have 5 Arduino gates.
Yeah, maybe, but this is already done. You don't have to do anything else to it.
For your main start-finishy
Carlos
tiny
don't need
gate,
to do a lot of work.
for your main start-finishy one, yeah,
Yes.
but it's not doing what I want, and it won't control servos, will it? Will it control? Will it? Will it control
No,
servos?
probably not.
No. Yeah.
But it will do a lot. Shut up. You're ruining my pitch. So tell Trappy, watch just that 1 hour, and then 5 minutes afterwards, stop
Stop
immediately.
watching before the
Stop
fat guy
immediately.
talks.
Before Jem starts. When he hears Jem talking, just click away.
Just stop. Don't listen to me.
Shut up, Jem.
Ignore me. I didn't say anything.
Right. So this is one of
That's
the
it's a
projects.
nice idea. So how?
So
There's
as-
no way into that Trappy code then.
So aside from, so right now, what I've done is that rather than having a gate that no one can fly through, at least I made something that it's a
I much prefer
little
that.
bit more useful.
Yeah, I prefer that to the tight rectangle.
Yes. And you can
you
use
get in the
4
box.
and make like a big Lowe's angle that is going to look very nice when you're going through it in FPV.
Yeah, repeated gates very close one after the other
Yeah.
is awesome.
Now to do this, I just got a little heater. I heated the corner up, and then I bent it, and then I put some.
Tape just
Tape
to
over it
reinforce
so it
it.
doesn't
So you
break.
didn't cut that.
No,
You've
I
only
didn't
cut the one end off.
Yeah. That's it.
And that's what you've stuck inside there.
The other bits, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so there's no wastage here. We do not waste any LEDs here. They don't go. They go into something else.
So
I
that-
like that project.
Yes.
I'm just not sure about its, as a start-finish gate. Yeah, I can see it. I
Yeah,
can see
that's all I
happening.
want.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah, but I'd rather have your start-finish gates with the circles,
With the one.
with the start-off, take-off platform.
But then you can put this in any. It doesn't need to be.
Oh, it
like,
doesn't need
if-
to run that. It
No,
could
it
run
doesn't
any,
need to
any
run this.
LEDs.
Like this is just LEDs. So if you have access to that code, you can just have like 6 LEDs connected to each other, and then tell them, hey, light up when player 1 goes by, light up LED 1.
Okay.
And when player 2 goes by, light up LED 3. And that segues into my current project, which I kind of showed you last time.
There's
a little
more.
bit.
Oh, that's the one that you're going to leave for me.
Yes, kind of, maybe. So this is my alternative to Trappy not releasing the code that made me do this stuff.
The code
And-
that we actually want.
Yes. So, and this is, it doesn't have the Arduino bit here, but this is pretty much the same thing that I want. So you have 4 little rings that act as the
Launch pads.
exactly the launch pads. But the difference is that underneath this
Put more teeth on.
you have a little Arduino here, and what that Arduino does is that it has a little control like the CTF, the capture the flag gate, that knows when a specific frequency is going by. And what happens is that, in my view, we're lacking in a tool that allows people that are watching to know what's happened, right? Like you never know. Like what lap is this guy that just went through the start finish gate is?
Yeah, there's
You
no
never know that.
real time information kind of thing.
For the people watching, and I don't want to go. I know that some excuse me, some organizations have this slight information about this in a little screen somewhere, but I don't want that. I want to see the race as it's going, and I want to be informed of what's happening in the race right away without having to go to some other screen to see this information, right?
Okay.
That's my view.
Okay.
So, especially in the tiny whoop race, like who's ahead, who's in the second lap, who's in the third lap.
And you're saying we can just look at that unit
Yes. So
and
this
get the information.
This sits in the start-finish race. Sorry, in the start-finish line.
Okay.
And as the drones go away, this all lights off. And as soon as the, let's say, pilot 1 passes through the start-finish line, which is this, his LED would go 1. Or 2 or 3 or 4, depending how many laps he's already had. So if you would look at this without knowing anything else about the race,
you know how many laps each one's done.
You know who's ahead, pretty much.
Yeah, you know that one's done 4 laps and that one's done 3.
So if everyone is 3 and one drone passes and it goes like 4, you know exactly who the pilot is that's ahead, without looking at anything else. You just need to know who was on this map.
Who was red and who was blue.
Yes. And because you can light up this in any different color, you can actually assign the colors to the LED colors that normally the whoops have. So if this has like a red color or this has a purple one, you can just say, okay, let's make the purple one, the rings will be purple.
It's very interesting and useful.
Yes.
I don't see, it's nicely self-contained, I think, because it'll be your starting, and you could probably even do the timing off of that as well, couldn't
Correct.
you?
Yeah.
You could definitely do first, second, third. It's not a bad little idea, you know. I can see how it'll work.
Yeah.
For anything, I think there might be too many LEDs on there, and you might want to only go to, or having another 4 LEDs, big ones. Now, how many laps are you going to get? 10? You're going to get 10 laps?
You're going to get 7 laps, maybe.
Yeah.
5 laps. Let's say you get 5 laps. But the reason for this round thing is not of the laps.
That's just because you had, isn't it? That's what you had.
No, I got this on purpose.
Uh-huh.
The first year I went to Tiny Whoop, and this year actually, they had this as their start finish gate. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the cool thing about these lights specifically, that's right, is that
Whoop fits in there.
the whoop fits perfectly inside of it.
Yeah.
Without falling off.
Well, you're going to have a glass over the top of that anyway, but you know, look, I like it a lot. It's just I look at it and I just think, bloody hell, that's a lot of LEDs.
Because of when it's preloading, so when you're waiting for the race to start, this is all like shimmering with lights, beautiful.
Yeah. But after that,
That's why.
you're going to have one little LED on there and 2 little LEDs on there.
Yes.
And then the rest of it's going to be off.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, there's no real easier way to do that, unless you have like a very small LED.
Could you get it to fill up 2 or 3 lights? Couldn't you? Because you're not going to do 12 laps, so you're going to kind of section it off. So it's going to be several lights.
I wonder how hard it would be to add a 7 segment in there.
A what?
A little 1-digit display. Because that would say a 1, it would say a 2, it would say 3.
But how would you
all the
know
way
who
up
is
to
who?
9. In the middle of each one, you'd have 4.
No. Too hard.
Too hard.
Yes.
And you have to be looking at it too straight on to see it.
Yes. This is easier to
That'd
be
be great
able
in
to see.
acrylic.
That's what I was saying to him. 3 little layers of acrylic.
Bit of plywood and acrylic would be brilliant.
You know, you've got 1 layer, 2 layers there to hide the electronics, and then on top of that second layer is those rings, and then on top of that you've got a clear layer to take off from.
And if you want it to hold on, you could just do another circular in clear, just so it has a lip to hold on to. If you want that feature,
you could do little hole cutters.
yeah, you could do that.
I could do a center bit with the LEDs.
To put the angle up, slide up.
You could make standoffs taller on one than it is at the,
Just have it
at
so
the
you
back
can
than
set
it
the
is at
angle
the
for
front.
takeoff.
You could have a takeoff angle.
Yep.
It's quite cute.
That's why I bit these rings, because
They're great.
the drone doesn't fall off from it. You can take off like this.
Yeah, but we're going to have another glass over the top, so the drone will never touch them.
Yeah, you could protect those, but you could also make some holes in. Yeah.
So no, to your answer, I can't have another segment because I don't have enough addressable pins in the.
In the mini Arduino.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's pretty much as you can take.
Okay.
But to add on this,
I love it.
there's another thing.
I love it. Yes.
And the other thing is again for the people that are flying, but also for the audience.
Yeah.
And that thing is this.
That's a big ass traffic light.
I'm thinking of removing maybe the bottom. So what's this for?
We do need to see that on, though.
Yeah, I don't have any. Do you have batteries for this?
Of course we do. We've got loads of them.
Okay. Do you want to open it now?
Yeah, let me open it.
Where you put the batteries are over here.
So while he's figuring out where he puts his keys to open this up, the idea for this is to use it. Actually, this is going to be the controller for this whole thing. It's going to have the Arduino here inside, and the idea is to use this as the controller that starts the race and ends the race. As I see it, whenever there are loop races and you start it, and there's no like definite end, you just say like, oh, it's going to be 5 laps or whatever. Everyone just flies until the battery explodes.
Yeah.
But
fun.
Except
No,
Tiny Whoop,
it's
where you get a furry thing at the end.
That's
on the wall.
Huh?
Except for
yeah,
Tiny
except
Whoop,
for Tiny Whoop,
hit
that
a wall.
you have to hit something in the wall.
That's what Jesse did on purpose. That's how he finishes the race.
So my idea is to make that traffic light as the operator of the race start and the race time.
You almost need like a mini drag light.
And the
set
race
up.
time.
Yes. So how long the race is going to be.
Okay.
So right now this is all working inside of a little Arduino, which I actually do. I have it with me? No, I don't have it with me. And that Arduino just controls whoever is in which position, what are the colors, what are the frequencies, and there's a little LED right now on the Arduino that starts the race. So it goes like red, 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 green, and green means start. And then it goes, all LEDs go off until the race finishes, and you just see red. The problem with this is that it's because all of these are very small LEDs, it's kind of hard to see. So I wanted something big like this.
Sometimes big is not good because it blows out cameras. We have to be careful.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Those are small batteries. Oh, they're big ones.
Ah.
Oh, good job.
I have just broken your thing.
No.
What did you?
I didn't look like it.
What did you? Okay.
Okay, so you're turning this on, but it's going to be pointless because all of these LEDs from inside are going to go, and they're going to take different type of LEDs. They're going to take like this type of LEDs. Maybe show to the camera.
Well, I'm just trying to see the sequence.
Oh, the
trying to
sequence,
see the sequence.
is not important now. All of this is going to change. So
You're just going to use that as the
this is just the
carcass.
workbench, the carcass for the LEDs that are currently in this position here. Goes inside of here. So when the race starts, it's gonna go like red, red, yellow, and then
Green
big
goes.
pause. That's unknown, and then green go. And this is what you're gonna see from that vantage point of the whoops. Yeah, which means that anyone in the room can also see this, because it's bigger than just a little LED. I want to have a buzzer here on top as well. That does that buzzing noise, but the problem that I'm having is that the current Piero buzzers that exist are just too, that they're not loud enough. So if there's just too. You need something louder that you can hear.
What about
That's
Quad
a
Finder one?
position. We've had
Those
some pretty
Quad Finder
loud
buzzers.
ones.
Nah, they're still.
Why don't you take one off of a lipo checker? They're bloody loud.
They're the same Piero buzzers.
They're loud. I
They're
think
not
they've got a
very
little cone or something that makes them louder.
Maybe.
They
I'll
are
try
very loud.
Yeah, so I'll try one of those then.
I like it. I think it's really cute. Don't want to piss on your parade, but why aren't you just making your circles red, green, and yellow?
What do you mean circles?
The launch mat.
This?
Yeah.
Because you can see it out the camera, yeah. That'd be
Because you can see them.
No, that's a nice feature in my room.
No.
and that.
Why? So your question is, why doesn't this go red?
Well, that will do.
Or sorry, red, green?
Yeah.
Because the pilots won't be able to see it.
Oh.
This is
that's
for the
actually-
pilots.
Oh, yes.
And for the people watching.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yes, that is true. Yes.
It depends how much acrylic you put down.
Nah, they won't. They
Yeah,
won't see it.
It depends how much
You're sitting. First, you're sitting on it, and then it's just one color. Doesn't matter what color it is. It's red, green, blue, whatever color. It's always going to show as white, bright white, overexposed in your goggles.
Okay.
So yes, at least this. Even though you might be able not be able to see that it's red or green or blue, but you know what the sequence is. So if the light is powerful on the top, that means that red is on, right? When it goes off, it goes to yellow. You know, oh, get ready.
Get
You're about
ready.
to go.
Get ready.
And then
yeah.
when it goes off together and goes blue, or sorry, not blue, green, then go. And it doesn't need to be red, yellow, or green in your actual FPV feed, but you will know that anyway.
Just position.
This is just eye candy for both the people that
Yeah,
are watching
Yeah.
and the pilots as well. Because you're going to be able to see this on your feed, aren't you? Even if the colors aren't there, but you're going to be able to see some nice thing rather than just an LED strip
No, for
sitting in front
sure.
of you.
No. If it was all on, it would just be a blur. For sure, if you had the red one at the top, you'd see it move down.
Yes.
Whether you'd see it change colour,
Yeah.
I don't think you would.
No.
But you'd definitely see it move down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look.
So yeah, it'd be quite cute.
So that's my next project.
That's quite a few little projects you've got going on there. But you know.
But the good thing about this is that everything. So this will operate independently of this, or you can connect this to this.
I've got
Okay.
that,
whole thing.
yeah.
Now
I'm connected.
I'm more concerned that you're overloading yourself with projects and you're not going to do my project.
Yeah, of course I know.
Like what?
Who gives a crap about your stuff?
Come on, no, seriously. I just need a little bit of extra programming
Pass.
to earn the servos. So, what?
Right. Then there's another thing, which is not really a project, but it's just something that like a best practice, really.
Okay, we like best practices.
Yes.
Don't do it the wrong
So
way.
2 best practices. I actually talked about this in a video. One of them is that for these gates,
Yeah.
I hate the mounts for these gates. They're terrible. They're awful.
The
They're
stands are
absolutely
the
terrible.
stands are quite
Yes.
weak. Yeah.
I don't like them at all. So
Yeah,
I threw them all away, and instead, I've made this little attachment.
Magnet.
The magnet.
Yeah.
You-
So it's
you
a magnet that just the attachments that come with the gates.
rotate it a bit more, just a little bit
Yeah.
more.
You know
Yeah,
the attachments that come with the gates.
Okay.
So I've copied that type of
File.
connection.
Oh yes, because these are flat bars, aren't they?
Yes.
These aren't rings, and that is
Correct.
got 2 little flat
Yeah.
slots on it.
Yeah. So I copied that type of attachment, and I just
Extend
Slot it
the
in.
back a bit.
and then I put the magnet on
and
top.
you glue the magnet on,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
it. And now this can go
and
anywhere.
it sticks anywhere. It sticks right up above your head
Right
on
on
the
it.
light. There you
There
go.
we
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
Nice. I see it. I can. We've used magnets in the seams before. That's how
Yes.
we was doing it. We was just stuffing them into the seams.
Yeah, but the seams are very.
Yeah, it's probably better doing it that way.
No, it's nice that you've got a
Yeah.
clip because that way you know where you're sticking it.
Yeah.
And I like to have my gates the right way up. Some people don't really care which way up they go.
Yeah, you can connect this anywhere.
Anywhere
Yeah.
along the line.
And this
And
is
where
available.
do you get that file? Where's that file?
I made it, and it's on. If you go to Thingiverse and you look for Seek and D,
You asked me to design something.
it'll be there.
I did ask you to design something. That's
I
fine.
find the right tool to cut the
Yeah.
groove.
So we're in. I'm going to see if I can find you guys the link for it.
But I have another best practice. So while he's looking for the link, I'm going to talk about the other best practice that I have. And I'm a big fan of traveling super light as I can possibly
Travel a lot.
travel,
I hate carrying anything.
and taking as much stuff as I can. So I happen to find this tunnel. I think it was online somewhere. It cost like something like 16 quid or something. And the tunnel came with a nice bag.
Always handy.
Yes. So I have a whole course
In one
with
bag.
one tunnel, one square. What do you call those gates that like pop up?
Like the dog gate thing, the square cube thing.
A cube, yeah,
Yeah.
like a tunnel, a cube, and 18 gates inside here, alongside with the the current start finish.
That's quite a compact.
That's a kit, Jim.
So for
Race.
a whole race, 18 gates.
No stands though.
No, but they're all magnetized.
All magnet gates.
Yeah, so you just need somewhere that normally you have like the,
Just the
ceilings
beading along
or
the wall,
the-
the plastered wall. You get the
or
beading,
even,
don't
yeah,
you?
exactly, like the plaster walls have like
the beading along the edges.
beams on it.
That's true. On the corners of the walls
We hang
you've got
loads
a
of
bead,
stuff in
don't
our,
you?
in our house.
You've got corners on the beads. Every corner
Yes,
Yeah.
of your plastered wall
correct. Has a
has
beam
a
inside.
bead, yeah. Every external corner.
So with this I can make whatever type of courses
you
I
can
want
make quite a lot, of course, yeah.
inside this tiny little bag. And that's my preferred way of,
And that tunnel that you've got though, so this is a part
Yeah.
of my objection,
yes,
is that the tunnels that we're finding at the moment
yes.
are all, for me, too
Yeah.
small.
For kids to crawl.
That's for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate your
I love-
pro pilot.
It's not a pro pilot,
Yeah.
but I
It's
love it.
wider than that though, Jim.
They're not
it's
wide.
bigger than
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
They're
it
not
is.
wide enough. I want
Let's go back to the.
I
You
want
fly through that constantly.
big ones. Yeah?
boy.
Big ones.
There's
Can
your,
you do
there's
that for
the
me?
link,
Back?
isn't it? The clip there. Magnet.
What are you doing?
Did you share the link?
I have
Yeah.
it. So,
Okay.
so the link for Carlos's stuff is in. This is Carlos's bits and pieces.
Yeah.
And this is the one that we're talking about. But the link is in the chat now anyway. And that is the piece.
Yeah.
So this. Can I make it turn around? There you go.
Mhm.
So this is what goes into the gate.
Yeah.
That's the bit that goes
And
on
it
the
clips
gate.
onto it.
And then on this face behind, we are going to stick a bit of
Print in
magnet.
a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
Huh?
that would print
Print
very
in a couple
quickly
of
that way
minutes.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
That
2 or
would
3
print
minutes.
instantly. Not this way up that it shows
what
it.
material did you use?
Really
PLA?
weird.
PLA, yeah.
That it shows it like that.
And sometimes I notice that it breaks, but
Yeah, I
that's
would imagine
because.
it would do.
But if you take it off 20 times, then it's gonna break maybe. But
If you printed it vertically though,
Hmm?
you would get the supports would work in favour for you to
Yeah.
snap in and out, rather than if you printed it flat, it would snap off in a layer, and the layer would snap off.
Oh,
You don't need to
interesting.
force
But yeah, but no, I'm just saying.
Interesting,
But the
Tom.
way it lays the plastic down.
oh yeah.
So-
yeah, so if
yeah.
you rotated the print up vertically,
Yeah,
it would strengthen that whole
The-
grip.
yeah.
So in order for me to do what Tom's saying there, to do this one, what's going to happen is we're going to need to have new motor mounts for the back here.
No.
And I've printed some motor mounts, and I've printed them one in each direction. Yeah, so that the grooves we can see. If you can't see it on the camera, but every direction. So there's one in each orientation to see which one works best, because we've got this clippy part. Oh, I've dropped it. We've got this clippy part, that bit there, and that's what slips on. So that'll be on the back of the wing at this position here. Yeah, to hold your motor mount in the correct orientation. And I'm having to find out which one is going to be strong. Exactly what Tom's saying to you there. Depending on the orientation that you've printed this part in,
Yeah.
Just because the way the layers are put down. Yeah.
this little part here will become weak or not.
Mm.
It'll be weak or very strong. Yeah, depending on which way the orientation is, which is something particular to 3D printing and not resin printing, which I'd love to get someone. So if there's anyone doing resin printing and wants a bit of work, I could put some your way, because he's not going to do it. Tom's not interested. I can't do it here. Yeah, we need resin printing.
I want lathes and 5-axis CNC. I want that stuff.
You want noisy things.
I'm going to use tools. Yeah.
You want flashing things.
The engineer firms I
He wants
use.
noisy things.
Yeah, the engineering firm I use has all the toys that do all the production cut, and it's so nice. All the metal bending and
That is a bit
it's
engineering.
where my heart lays.
Yeah, but see, that's not really useful for tiny drones.
It is.
But
it's engineering still in the micro level.
yes, well, I don't know. So I also want to just mention that MultiGP is on. Don't know if anyone knows.
Last night on the Hydra app.
I was betting on the Hydra app myself.
Because I didn't know hardly any of the pilots. But
yes, well, I just kept. I was only betting for
first.
No.
Sign by the second. I know you.
That is pretty much exactly where I was. Yeah, was just Merc. Yeah.
Merc, you better win.
You better win. So
it's a great app. I really love it. And to be honest, the links to the YouTube to take you straight to the footage, or the Facebook, and I love it as an app. It's a great idea.
yes.
And it gets so much more involvement, and you're seeing the pilots. They're on the leaderboard and they're voting, so they've got more to do. And it's I just think it's a great little hub. Once they get a chat room or something
first
involved.
No, heads up FPV is first, and then Vanover.
Yeah.
What? Heads FPV is first in Vanover.
And then young Vanover.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's this Heads FPV?
Drobot is there. That's that young pilot over in America, isn't it? He's quite young.
Is it?
Drobot, yeah.
So there's quite a few people, quite a lot of names. A few people knocked out already.
Where's Nerk then?
Jet's
Jet on 36. Jesus, Jet.
Oh, that's way down.
Maybe
Nerk's
just
there at 31.
Maybe just arrived.
This is Nerk here at 31.
America.
No droner as a pilot.
America FPV, what's going on? So I'm trying to watch some of the live streaming.
I don't know most of the at the top.
And it's been pretty good. Yeah, I'm really happy that I can watch and listen to Scully. Yeah, because for me, Scully's voice.
You got to meet him, didn't you?
Yeah, and seriously, I was quite impressed.
No,
YouTube
I
big
lost
screen.
my voice. That
This
first
one
time
here.
at Western Park, where
So
I lost my voice in the first 24
I think
hours.
they're flying now. This is
This is
they're
live,
flying now. That's Scully down in the corner. You can see him there.
See what happens. He just posted a 20.3 as he crosses
to a
on
bit.
the lap
Let's
number
listen.
2.
Let's listen in for a
Van
minute.
over bottom center of our screen. If you're watching our live stream on the official
It's in
YouTube
Las
channel,
Vegas.
MultiGP.
No, the
This
MultiGP.
is
Did you
hot
know that
lap right here.
MultiGP
Season
subscribed to
hobby
me?
links later section.
Really? Well, you're worth
Midway point,
subscribing.
Subscribe to my
minutes to
YouTube.
go.
You're worth
We got a good
subscribing
pace
to.
for Amari. 5 laps, 2 minutes 13. It's right around the cusp of where we need
Let me
to
go troll
be.
them.
So I don't know
Pace is only a
who's
second and a
watching.
half. He needs to find 7.5 seconds a lap here to break our top 16 with 40 seconds left on the master race clock. There's Captain Vanover working here on lap number 4. Now you see that time that is predicting on the screen. That time
Is it me or does it look very
Captain
cold?
Vanover maintains his lap averages. If he keeps
Las
doing
Vegas.
that voodoo
They're in
that he
Vegas.
do so well,
It
he will
does look
jump
quite
into
cold.
the TQ
They got
spot.
the old polar
Lifetime
vortex
scoring
happening
system is
over in the States, haven't they?
behind him as we
They've
look
got
at
a
these
polar
lap times.
vortex.
Yeah, it's freezing over there. It's like they've been warned not to go outside and all sorts
Really?
of
As
stuff.
bad
as
Yeah, in
that?
Chicago. It's,
Don't go outside.
Oh, yeah,
it looks
that's
like
true.
the day after tomorrow. It's like the river
Oh,
through
put
Chicago
some sun
is
on.
frozen.
Put some sun on. See if
Don't
he-
go outside.
Yeah,
That's
don't
quite-
go outside.
For
No
20
school, no work,
or
no
even a
nothing.
21
Shut
second
down.
lap time or
Let's see if he
22
sees
second
the,
lap time, he's going to be your
my
TQ. There's the
message.
ding. Bring out a checkered flag at our multi-GP start finish gate. Here comes Vanover, guys, through the Swatch tryouts dive gate to our start finish gate. And there we go across the line. Front pitch roll through our start finish gate. 6 laps, 2 minutes 12.0. He just took the top spot by 1.9 seconds. Captain Vanover, your TQ at this point.
Well, there you go. We managed to tune in just as Vanover.
Down, let's retrieve some
First
quads.
place.
He lost
He
Johns
does
on
like
lap number
what it is.
5. Auber got 4 laps in 2:11. Amari, we lost on lap 3.
Pathways
Meanwhile,
that
we
he
lost on
takes.
lap 2.
Yeah.
Maker, we
I
lost on
think he's
lap
very
2.
good. Like I saw him doing some
One
kind of
and
practice
James Ritter, we
something,
lost.
and he was. I've seen lots of people
Yeah.
line up for the dive gate and try and jump, and he just spiraled through it.
Yeah,
Was it him
Yeah,
and
he
then Chin
used the
over in
manoeuvre.
Korea or
Yeah.
China that were racing indoors in the final, and it was just so fast. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
He is very, very good. He's very clean. Very, very clean pilot. So if you've got time, guys, go over to MotoGP and get yourselves the Hydra app. And you can get Hydra from Hydra FPV. It's a fabulous app.
It's,
yeah, I think once they get a chat room as well, that would be quite a good little thing. That would, as just an addition.
Get yourself the app. You just click on it right here.
And another, just a quick suggestion.
Yeah.
When they list the races, you've got to go right to the bottom to find the current race. Can we just flip that so we have the first race at the bottom and the latest race at the top, and you don't have to go like that on your phone?
Yeah.
That would be quite a handy little
That's
thing.
something that we could feed back to Joel.
Yeah.
But yes, so this is the app, and you can right now you can do betting. You're not betting for money.
for kids.
You're winning for
Betting
kids.
for kids.
Yeah.
But I did notice something.
there are
you
some
can
kind of
buy.
prizes.
There's way you can buy more points.
Yeah, that's
or
not
something.
available yet.
Not
you
yet,
can't,
but
you
it's
can't
looking
get
like
into
will
it.
be
But that
active.
would
Confirm
be
more
then the
points.
paid end afterwards. Yeah. But right now they give you a load of credits, and if you're not
Chance of
silly
winning
betting
prizes
it all on
for free.
one,
Yeah.
yeah, and you can get prizes
Like I
at the
do.
end. So that whoever it knows out of all of the people that has bet who's
Yeah.
bet the most,
Okay.
and those people will win prizes.
Interesting.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So get yourself on the
And
Hydra
there's
app.
races. It's not just the big ones. It seems like there's races every weekend almost.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
that's true,
quite
yeah.
a thing. It's built in, and we just need to get it over
Well,
here
this
in
is
the
this
races.
Yeah,
is
we
the
need
thing.
for
This
the
is
UK.
what we're looking for: is people that are prepared to take on that bit of learning curve in order to use the
Yeah,
software.
it looks
Yeah.
like a commitment to time and people and resource.
Well,
I would say on the day, but yeah.
Like anything, if you decided to use Livewire, Lifetime, or
Yeah.
whatever one, Delta 5 or something like that for timing, you would still have a learning curve.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. Only this does so much more for you. I can't get over, I can't express, but how much he was just. Someone's turned up, and I can just imagine Eric Liu just going nuts with what someone's requesting. I want to pull out, and I want to put this guy in.
No, you can't.
Yeah?
You can't. You have to change your name legally.
Can you imagine how mental that would have been? Right? And he just literally on the app on his little iPad-y thing. He went like that, held on the name, and just dragged them off. I put you on the bench, and dragged on the name and plonked them in, and it worked it all the way through.
Yeah.
And everything
I
just
haven't seen
changed
that side, but it
all the
looks
way
good.
through. Just that.
Yeah. And the current
Just
updating
that is massive
yeah,
to
it's
me.
pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you can add on all of the screen stuff and the betting stuff, and then the bringing in the interest. Yeah. So yeah, we just need
Making
someone.
community. I reckon there's ways of advertising all sorts.
We just need someone in the local community to take it on, which interestingly enough segues you to another subject that I want to talk about.
It's like we planned this.
Who knows
Which
what
we
we're up
didn't.
to here? We don't plan anything.
That was
But-
all planned hours of.
What I'm seeing quite a lot is, and I'm loving it, really, really loving it.
Is the community
Inspired
by the community?
Community-inspired products are always fabulous.
Bless
yeah?
them. Bless those
Bless you,
inspired
Horizon,
community.
for community-inspired products and taking them on. Bless you, Horizon. Well done. Still using the MX plug though. What? What's wrong with you people? Anyway, let's lead back on to where we was
Yeah,
going.
go on.
And where I was going was, I'd like to see a list somewhere. I might just put it on the Joan Junkie website if I can get some kind of a calendar
Yeah.
where all of these local races
Yes.
can just list themselves.
Yes.
Yeah?
That would be very nice.
So we can just go, look, this week there's that one there on a Tuesday, that one there on a Wednesday, that one there on a somewhere. I haven't seen
I've
this.
seen something, but I can't remember.
If there's
what.
anyone out there, if I missed it, let me know. Tell me if there's a list there. I'll promote it. If it's already there, I don't care who owns the list or where it's held. I just want to see it. I want to know what's going on.
Not
Yeah.
whoop related.
look-
I think it might be a larger class.
No,
Okay.
Well, there
Yeah,
is.
you want-
There's
yeah.
no.
into
I-
inside FPV.
Yeah, but that's all
Yeah.
mini
Yeah,
quad
that's-
racing.
yeah,
I'm
that's
talking
something
about
Talking
whoopee
whoops.
stuff.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
whoops
I'm talking
will
about local and
Yeah.
social racing,
Yeah.
even if it's just 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah.
Because look, when we was in Tottenham, we would have been happy if a couple of people come and met us
Yeah.
and had a little go. So I wouldn't mind saying that it was on. Yeah. So local racing, social racing, just let us know how many events are going on. I know there's Glasgow FPV doing a storm.
Yeah.
Phil's
Hull
doing a
is as
storm.
well, there's something
Chris is
Hull,
doing.
yeah.
There's one down in Devon. There's people on the Isle of Wight.
people
There's
asking
people on
if
the
we
Isle of
can
Share
share
Man.
Google Calendar.
There was
Yeah, we
people-
can, but Like who
All right, well,
How do
we'd
you
have to
organise it? We've got a community.
set up
There must
a.
be someone
Yeah.
that's capable of helping.
It's
there,
just
'cause,
where
yeah.
it needs. Look, I've got
Yeah.
plenty of website hosting space if that's what it is. I don't know what it will take,
Just helps.
but it's just a calendar.
Well,
I know there were
it
people
doesn't take. It's not that. I think
Okay.
the problem is, you would have to push this for other people. So other, there's two ways. Either you go actively and ask everyone all the time if they're hosting a race,
Yeah.
which is not ideal because that would take like.
I know, 'cause they
And
want more
how would you
people,
know who that
so
was?
it's
And
going
how
to
would
push.
you know who it was? Or you advertise a service, let's call it that, where it might as well be like a Google Calendar that everyone just says, "Oh, I'm gonna host a race." Hosts it as they do normally, and also go to the added work of putting it in this calendar, which is, I guess, is why people are like not bothered. It was
I
just
know,
like,
'cause people
I'm
want
just
more
gonna-
Is it really
people to
that
turn
much
up. I
work?
think they're happy to do it if it's for them
Do
to
they?
increase people in numbers and
I don't know.
help towards
Like
the
the
cost.
Hertfordshire races, the
Yeah.
Whoop races that they have won. Every time that I go and check and try to be in the race, it's already closed because they have way too many people
Oh, okay.
racing. So I don't know. Maybe,
If it's too many people, then
yeah,
there's
because
something that
it's
we're
not
missing
it's
and
not that
doing.
easy to actually find a race that wants to be open for everyone to
Well, there
just.
was some guys asking if
They could just date everyone,
and they haven't been able
Well,
to find
see,
anyone.
look, you're saying stuff that, like, I hear what he's saying, and I'm hearing there's a lot of pilots out there.
Yeah, it is.
That
Yes.
means we need more racing,
Yes.
more courses,
True.
more events.
Permanent,
Yes.
of course.
And if we have
In London,
in London, for
like there's
sure.
0 in London.
And if anyone out there has some space in London, let us know. If we had some
A lot of
kind
space right here. Look at this.
if we had a
You have a
calendar
kitchen cam.
and we
for
had
Christ's sake.
we had a list of the amount,
Yes.
that would then go on to show how much demand there is.
There's a lot of races for
Yeah.
sure.
It would be a good thing.
They're mostly in the north though, because
There's-
I guess
there's-
space.
They
Space
don't
is
go out
cheaper.
much up there.
Space
It's
is
too
cheaper,
cold.
No, space is cheaper. Look, let's not muck about here. You know, if you was anywhere outside of Watford, 1,000 square foot would not cost you £1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywhere near London, that's 1,200 quid,
You'd be getting a
1,500
barn
quid.
and like a
For an
nice
hour.
bit of land wind down where I
Well, we're looking right now. The cheapest that we've found,
Yeah.
private, is £35 an hour.
35.
£35 an hour. If we try and somehow convince the council
Yeah.
that we are a not-for-profit charitable organisation,
Yeah.
maybe we can get it for 16. But how do you do that? How do you, as a bunch of mates, just racing, just entertaining yourselves, show that you're a
Keeping off the
not-for-profit?
street.
I know how to do this.
Okay, I'm open.
You have to start, which is maybe why a lot of people don't do it. You have to start at the low end. You have to start this as a teaching thing. So you have to go
That's
to
not the low end. That's very complex. You've immediately.
no. Listen. The
complicated
low
the
end
heck out
meanings that you
I'm scared already.
listen. You're not
Okay, I'm
gonna have
listening. I'm
you're not gonna have people that know how to fly.
I'm not. Oh my God, they're going
You
to
know?
break my toys.
Exactly. You have
They're
to.
gonna break my
You have to
toys.
somehow get enough toys for these people to learn, and they're not going to be racing.
That's definitely not low end, then, is it?
You're gonna no low end in terms of racing,
Low end in terms of race.
because you're not gonna race.
So you're asking me to set up quad clubs?
That's pretty much what it is. But for the councils have like youth centers everywhere, right?
Go and
If
visit those with toys.
That's
and-
it. But you're not gonna race there, not at first. So the low end is the part of racing. It's not. You have to spend
The
a lot
low
of.
return, you mean?
You have to spend a lot of time, a lot of
Yeah.
work,
Yeah,
a lot of teaching.
yeah.
In order to get a group that then, all right, now this is a racing venue because the students are up in the level they can race.
Buying their
We can
own
start
and, yeah, supporting
organizing races for the students and bringing people from the outside.
That sounds like a wonderful
that's-
plan.
that's a
Yes.
Great
long way
plan.
around.
Really long road.
I
Yes.
just-
Yeah.
That's the,
But
but that's
That doesn't give me the space for any less money.
it
It
does.
hasn't made the space cheaper.
Yeah, no.
Why?
The space
Because
will
the
be
council now
exactly.
say,
Yeah,
Exactly.
oh, now there's the demand.
Exactly.
The demand goes back to the list so we can see the demand.
Not, I said low end. Maybe
Yeah.
I should say slow end.
Slow end, yeah.
Slow way,
So
yeah.
what you're saying is
It's
we
the
need to
long-
then individually, all up and down the country, all of
Yes.
you guys that are
Yes.
watching this,
Definitely.
yeah, all up and down the country need to say,
Councils, we want to show you the
Council,
drones
let
are
me
not bad.
give you this.
Yes. I want to be the
give you
teacher.
this teaching
I want to
thing,
give you my stuff for the
this
kids,
learning experience.
They
And
go
the
around
offer is to you
stabbing people
in the hope that once I've created enough interest,
Yes.
you're going to give me the space
Correct.
for free or very low cost.
Yes. Well, you're gonna have the space right at the beginning, right? Because you need a space for them to
And
learn and to do this
so
thing.
the council were just going to give me the space already
Right? Well, if
because I've said education.
well, it's not education, right? You have to sell this, but if you have the space, it will be right at the beginning, right? How are the students gonna learn this?
But with chicken and egg, bros. I need the
What do you mean,
space.
chicken and egg? Yeah, exactly.
I
But
need
the council will give you this space.
They won't.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
No.
There's actual physical spaces for
Loads of
youth. Youth
Loads
stuff.
of them.
And what happens inside?
No idea.
Nothing.
I
The
don't
problem
go
with
to those
the problem with
places.
those
They
youth
have-
things,
they have
you'll
classes
the
every
security
hour.
Side of things, and
You have the what?
you'd have to have checks
Yeah,
on
for
the
sure. You would have to have
environment with kids.
you would have to have
It would
public
open up a whole
liability.
different thing,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
feel, actually, yeah.
You think so?
I would
Public
imagine so.
liability.
Even if you say
And
like,
if there's
look,
any kids
I'm-
involved,
Getting other
everyone
people
has to have
involved, yeah,
CRB check.
CRB
Don't, you know,
checks
we don't
and
get,
everything.
but you have to have
As soon as you take
CRB
them on.
check,
What's that?
the
criminal
background
Yeah,
record, something.
record,
Alright?
yeah.
But
What
everyone
else?
has to get that.
Yeah.
But that's a process. It's not. You know, it's like you have to apply for it,
that's a
pay
whole
for it,
lot.
all the
That's
rest
why I
of it.
said it's a
But
slow
once you
end.
get it, you get it. It's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
I reckon going
Public
to
liability you'd have to have, even if you're not charging them,
Yeah.
and you've just invited them onto your premises, you still have to be public
Not
liability.
I want to do it on their premises.
the kid.
Listen.
It's not the kid's premises.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the school or
student.
whatever.
Yeah. So the student
Students'
is public
association,
liability for
yeah.
the student
Yes.
and
That-
their parents.
What, the location has to have this, right?
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
So you're telling me
That's
if
you.
I go and teach a class about gluing stuff in
Yes.
papers,
Whoever.
I have to have liability
Yes.
in case of the kids cutting
Yes.
You're
themselves.
making money from it.
Yes.
No, if you're not making any money.
No. If you're doing anything, you have to have public liability.
No, if I'm not making any money of it.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
You've invited those people. No,
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 I
you
don't
brought them
know.
in.
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
know about that.
You brought
'cause,
them in.
Yeah, I've been asked
I
to go
think
into
we need to
college and
talk
do a
with.
talk,
I think we
yeah.
need to talk with
I think
with
there's a
these
lot of
people.
information.
With insurance people.
And no, we need to talk with the schools and see what's what.
I'd absolutely love to do it with
But
schools.
this is
However,
Do you
what
know
you're
what? I
talking
think-
about is
Yes.
us and one local little school. If we can inspire everyone out there
yeah,
to do the same,
exactly.
I
But
think
that's
talking to pubs. and
but
going to
someone
your
has to do
local
it-
pubs.
We're very
first.
interested.
Someone has to do it first.
do it first, and someone has to then share the path.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did this, and we had to do this check, and we
Yes.
had to do
this
this,
thing
and
first.
we had
Two
to do
pubs,
that. and
Pubs
we had
aren't
to
rent
do
out
too
a
that.
much power.
squash court for an hour and set up a course in it. How much does it go?
Squash
how-
court's pretty tight.
No, it's not. It's good size. You could set up a good size work course in there. How much does it cost to hire out a squash court for an hour? I don't know. I haven't
STEM.
played for a
Tristan
long
is saying
time,
STEM.
I agree with Tristan and STEM, and I
STEM
think
is a great
STEM's
idea,
good.
but
And
it's
Renault
hard work.
Renault has just done that. and,
Exactly. How
Yeah.
does he do that? Does he
a
have
lot
insurances and all that
of-
stuff?
Yes,
Or is it because he was already a teacher at the school?
he already knows what he needed. Yeah.
teachers or I mean you can
Yeah.
get cleared quite easily, and I don't know the insurance side of things. My kids have got like taekwondo happening in school, and
Yeah.
someone comes in and teaches them. We pay a bit of money and they do
Yeah.
it. So there's ways of doing it, and definitely drones and whoops and hoovers in their sports hall would be amazing. But I think the kids side of things is separate.
That video
I'd
just
stick it
keeps
to
doing
going
it.
to
doesn't it?
pubs, anything really.
YouTube.
I mean, yeah, pubs would be an amazing. Sports halls would be
So
a great venue.
This is STEM being done right now. Yeah. So if anyone actually has a way into a school, the curriculum, the syllabus, the recommended equipment is already there.
I think this is even harder.
This is a
like-
step even
Yeah,
harder
this
because
is like
they're
taking
not-
5 steps at once. I think.
because they're actually coding these.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
this is something I just want to see. I would just want to see like youth off the streets
Flying
think
in
you've
your
got-
learning a
flying.
new amount of skills. It's not just flying. It's a
Building,
lot of
it's
amount
the
of skills that
electronics
you
and
have.
everything else,
You know,
the
it's,
computers,
But right,
everything.
one
It's
minute,
all of
which,
that
you're not
stuff,
going to
right?
bring me in as a youth off the street to learn about coding.
Oh, but you don't.
You're
you
going to
don't
bring
need
me in
Yes.
to telling me that I'm going to be able to fly.
Yes, exactly.
That's how you're going to bring me in.
Yeah, but you're not going to tell them, all right, everyone, we're going to fly drones on the first day. Everyone is going to have a lot of fun. No, you're going to
Okay.
be boring
but
at
you've also
first.
stepped away as well because we started
Just
this
wanna look for
talking
venues,
about
go to pubs.
exactly. We started this talking about
Yes.
we want to fly. I already can fly. Yeah, right now I can fly.
You're not allowed in your school anymore.
Do you understand?
Good. Yes.
We want to fly.
We want to fly. Yes.
Where are we going to fly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pubs.
Well,
Not bringing more people in. Yes,
pubs.
that's part
You're
of
not
our
gonna fly
remit.
there because
Why? It's going to get caught in someone's hair or go
They
in
have
someone's
halls.
drink.
yes.
Well,
Bullshit.
we've already
I reckon
resolved
if you
that.
went in instead
So
of
you're saying
pubs,
for schools? Let's go on.
Pubs
You need to get
businesses are
all of this
struggling
for
enough.
pubs. Let's go.
Schools do have big sports halls.
if you were willing to take in a few drones and have a couple of disposable ones, and a couple of you and your mates approached a bar and said, "Look, do you mind us coming in and flying around your bar for a few hours?" I reckon most pubs would probably agree to it.
You think so?
I reckon they would.
I don't think so.
I don't know,
Business
you know. I
struggles
think
in
a
the
lot
week.
of people,
Business struggles. If
I
they've
think
got
it
an
has to
especially
be
if you
extra
show
people
them a little
drinking
tiny
pints,
drone, a lot of people don't really have a big problem with them.
I reckon that's the best place. I always did. I
Imagine,
also thought
like-
vape shops.
Remember when I was flying at Weatherspoons?
But they have quiet nights, don't they?
Huh?
Don't they have quiet nights, pubs? Or are they busy every night?
They do have quiet nights.
I think the only way that you're gonna do this is that if you check with the pub when is your quietest night and no one is here, we're willing to bring people over if you let us fly whoops.
They do
and
pool
eat
nights
and
at the end of the
drink
day. They
and
only
whatever.
encourage pool nights because they get a load of people in that night. They get double the crowd because they get the opposite team coming in.
Yes, but then
Twice as much beer sold. It's great business. If you've got extra
I
customers,
have a
coming in,
video
or
to
use
do.
their garden space.
I have a video to do on a US race.
A US race.
Yes. A
Okay.
US tiny whoop race.
And how they did it.
Yes.
And where they did it.
And where they did it. And it was a restaurant that just has a space. You
Well,
go
look
and
at
pay.
Chris is flying in a cafe, bro.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's loads
We
of
just
things.
need to
You just gotta
start
talk nicely
talking to
to
people. Hey Sparky.
Take one in, show
Chris is
someone,
flying
put
in
the
a
pen
cab
goggles
Well,
on.
over
Yeah.
people's heads.
Who needs to start this?
You
Well,
talk to
I think
people,
we all
talk to
need to
local
start.
sources.
I'm better
This
talking
goes
with
back
these
to
people.
what I
Hello, can I fly my whoops, please?
This goes back to what I was saying when I started this, is that my segue was we
Yes.
need a list.
We need a
Pubs and
list.
clubs.
Yeah, and if I see there's loads of people doing
Churches.
it, isn't that going to
I
encourage
already gave
me?
you that list.
No.
Churches, youth
Actuals.
centers.
You're different.
Actuals.
No, youth centres will be a pain because they're
All right.
yeah.
Well, churches,
Scout clubs.
scout clubs.
do think
What was the
There's
other one?
plenty of
Pubs,
halls
maybe.
available.
I think pubs
Your
is a
local
good thing.
council, every local council is already obligated
Yeah.
to provide halls for the communities.
Okay, good.
Yeah?
How much
That's
are
what I'm
they?
saying. £35 for private individuals.
How many there are? Doesn't matter.
No, it's just.
Well,
the
no,
whole-
the hall. Some halls can hold 80 people. Some halls can hold 150 people.
But I want better than that. I want it for free.
We love it for free.
But you have to think. How do you sell this?
Okay.
For free is, listen, we're coming here
Yeah.
and giving you a show, a racing show.
A show.
Yes, a racing show. You're gonna be able to see a race live. How cool is that gonna be?
Are you talking to a publican or a councillor? A
Probably
publican,
public.
maybe.
A public,
A
yeah.
publican,
Yes.
maybe. Yeah, a guy that
Yes.
owns the pub, yeah,
Yes.
maybe. Because then you'll say, look, we'll give you screens and we'll let people bet. That's what Hydra sorts
Yes.
out,
Great,
yeah?
yeah.
Yes.
Hydra
And get
would be
all the
amazing.
interest, right?
Yes.
Fine. But you can't say that to a council.
No?
They're not interested in that.
No?
No.
For the community. For the community.
Ha.
If the
Now-
community.
Okay, but now that's a long-term project.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
That's a look. We've got this, and we want to do this for the
Just only really
community.
get used on Sunday, and it's empty most of the time. They're everywhere, and the door's always open. See?
Just go in.
Bam! Get in the church, and we're flying. We're, pretty much closer to God already.
So you think?
That's what I can say.
I don't.
Don't let me go and
I'm
talk.
not discounting.
Don't let me
churches.
talk to these people.
I'm not discounting churches
I've been
or
to church
church
for a very
halls.
long time.
Yeah.
I think I get a bit hot when I walk to the door and start like,
Sweat.
it's fine. It's just too hot here. Can you turn off the heater? But it'll be fine afterwards. Like 15 minutes later.
15 minutes in.
Yes, I
you
I get the goat and I
reacclimatise. You
put it like bathe on the
Yeah,
goat.
okay, and you feel better.
Yes, it'll be better.
So look, churches are fine, and if you can actually fly in the churchy bit of the church,
Air training corporations.
air corps, not corporation, corps.
Booyakasha, huh?
Yeah,
Corpse.
Air corps.
What's that?
So that's like air cadets.
Air cadets for
There we
scouts.
go.
They're training to be RAF.
There we go.
There was one in Winchmore Hill.
Donations, because everyone's willing to donate a bit, and it doesn't have to be for free if it's going to be an organised thing. A little donation
Yeah.
towards the community.
Well,
or
the
to
highest,
people
the,
at the end of
the
the day.
problem is always that rent for that space.
Yes.
And the issue is that we need lots of space to fly in.
No, we don't need lots of space.
We
Look
need
at
an
tiny
amount
whoop.
of space.
Look at
Really
tiny
tall
whoop
to
invitation.
find. They
You
do it
what?
down
Jesus
Hang on a
Christ.
minute.
It's
hang
like
on.
the size of your
Hang
garage.
on a minute. No. He made that bigger with all of those features. Those features
And
are
they were
what made
permanent
that space
features.
big.
They're not carry in.
They were
and set
big
up on
old
Thursday
features,
night.
but when you flew down that infinity tunnel, it felt like you was in a. You wasn't in that little room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in a. Do you understand?
But
It
then
transported
that's
you.
things that we can build.
Well, that goes
You know?
back to what I asked you for earlier.
Yeah.
Is big features that can collapse,
Well.
yeah? And not just a gate.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that the only
Is that
thing
not
that
a
you
segue
can?
I've
or
got
something? I'm just
no, no,
expecting something
I've
else
got
to
an
go.
idea.
And
Segue.
that leads me to.
And
It is very possible. Like you're saying, look, those people that made that gate thing, that tunnel, that tiny little narrow tunnel that you like, yeah,
Which
they
one?
could make a big tunnel,
They
They
could.
could make a big tunnel.
yeah,
Yeah.
that collapses.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
You can
for.
probably find it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have one that's 50 centimeters. That's what I want. 50 centimeters.
It's too big.
That's not.
You can like 3 people can fly at the same time inside.
How
like,
big?
It's
How
like
big?
an
Hang on. How
adult
big
play
was
tube. I
each
bet
one
you
of the
they've got 'em.
tunnels at Tiny Whoop
But there's
Invitation?
some Dodge site in
None of
America.
those.
It's
Not
the
the
same
length.
size of.
Not
oh.
the length. The entry hole.
Yeah, the same size as this.
No.
Yeah.
All of them were bigger.
For sure.
All of them were bigger.
For sure, it was the same size as that.
Then measure that. Tell me how big that is, because it's
Big.
big.
Like this size.
Was that 50 centimeters? I don't know how long your arm is, Carlos.
It's about 50.
It's 50
No,
centimeters.
don't do it like that.
If it's 50, then it's fine.
This is
I don't know.
21,
That looks a bit big.
40.
Then it's not big enough.
I bet you there's some kind
This
of
is
dodgy
bigger. This is.
website that
What are you
sells
talking about?
child,
This is 50
like,
centimeters.
children play
Do
equipment
you know
for
what I mean?
adults. But I bet
Dude,
you
this
there
is
already
50
exists.
centimeters.
How do you know it's 50 centimeters?
Because I just measured it.
Then that's a fine size.
But
Which
that's
one was that? Hang on, is that the one that you had in...
There, in your in your thing there, when we were flying.
Did you bring that one to the job centre that we went to?
No, that was someone else's.
That was
Oh,
Tristan's
wait.
one.
Yeah, that was Tristan's one.
That was smaller.
I think it's the same. I think it's all in your head. It's the colors affect you. Ah, green! No, it's so tiny. And this one has stars. Oh, it's so
Look.
big. Inside, I can swim. in here.
Trust me, Jesse's tunnels were way bigger than these.
Oh, there's some puns
Yeah.
coming out here.
They were way, way bigger.
So much bigger, like with girth.
He had so much more girth.
So much more girth.
So much more girth. Yeah?
Anyways,
And that's what I'm asking for.
we want a place first
Yes.
because we already have a whole course.
We've got a course. We've got more than that. There's more than those.
Yes,
I've still got all of my gate bits.
Yes.
God blimey.
there
I've
we
got
go.
loads of gate
Yes.
bits.
So we can make the biggest course in the known.
We could make a ridiculous course.
What hemisphere are we? Northern hemisphere.
Just thinking about it, if we just pulled the gate stuff just from the lads,
Yeah.
we'd have a ridiculous amount of gate stuff.
Yes. Jesus Christ, already 20 is already too much.
There's way more than 20 gates.
No, that I have.
Yeah, I've got loads of them.
So what? The space.
Yeah.
Churches. Someone needs to talk to these people. It's not gonna be me. Seriously.
You don't
'Cause-
talk to churchy people?
No.
You can't talk
I
to
don't
Christians.
have, like-
Borat, I reckon.
Huh?
Stand a chance.
They're not so
Ali
much.
G.
Ali G would get right in there.
Have the drone. Yes. LEG. If I show up as LEG and say, Booyakasha is now. We
Aye.
want to fly the drones for the community to be impressed
Okay,
with the
so
drone.
wait.
I could sell it.
Let's bring it in. Let's bring it in.
We need someone to talk.
Going
about
into a church, you go into the
this. You
church.
can get the lads at the local Kid Fit. What's
Quick
it?
fit.
Quit.
Nah,
No, quick
no,
fit.
businesses won't. They won't want you teething stuff, and people won't keep an eye on it.
Perfect way.
So, look, if you went
They got
into
loads
a
of
church,
gates there already. Look at that.
Yeah, he's talking about the ramps.
6 centimeters by 5 meters. Oh, 60 centimeters. It's even bigger than mine.
No way.
It's the color. No, it's because it was like this. That's why it felt a bit smaller. Because it wasn't straight.
I'm telling you, Jesse's are even bigger than that.
All right.
Wait, I'm going to get Jesse
You want
to
Jesse's
measure.
ones.
I'm going to get him
This
to
is one
measure.
Jesse's ones. Doesn't
No, it's
matter.
not, I
If
just
Jesse
want-
says,
No,
oh,
it's
they're
that
40
big.
centimeters. I want them.
No, it's just that it was that big, bruv.
It wasn't. You
The
whoop.
infinity tunnel was at least that wide.
You're crazy.
At least.
It didn't look
No, it
that
wasn't.
wide.
It
Which
wasn't.
one do you think is the infinity tunnel?
It's the one with all the lights. with all
Like
the mirrors.
they've all got the one with the one-way mirror.
Yeah.
Where the
Yeah,
door was
Yeah.
at the top.
Yes.
Definitely wider than that.
No.
Definitely.
No.
Dude, it was huge.
No. Barely fit your arm through it.
Dude!
All right. Let's get on to that.
It was bigger.
To the
Trust
top.
me.
So we need someone to talk to these people. Is it gonna be you?
I don't mind talking to
There we
people.
go, we found
like,
it.
You just straight away sold me down the Swanee. But, yeah? So you want me to go to all the local churches and look for a hall in a church?
I think from all of us, you're the ones that has more. We have a word in Portuguese.
Huh. Gobby.
No. Oh, gobi. Yeah, like
That works
gobi.
as
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
yeah.
gobi. But we said labia.
Labia.
Not.
Not that one.
Not
Not
that
labia.
Similar.
But labia means like
Gift of the
chatty.
gab.
Yeah, gift of the gab.
Huh. I just talk.
Yeah. I'm happy to go with you to all these places.
That's fine.
Chat
you
with
know,
all these people.
It's churches.
I think so. Yes.
No. Bars.
No.
Bars,
churches.
extra customers.
That's the thing.
Restaurants on
But
quiet
bars
nights,
always want like
coffee shop.
the
Bars
times that I
always
asked
want
in
a
the bar,
return.
They
They
were
want a
like exactly.
return.
That's it. They were like, oh no, you have to have if you wanna
If
have
you want
some
it,
space here,
you have to have this many people.
Yeah, exactly. And they
And-
always have to
And
drink.
this much minimum on the
Yeah,
bar. And I'm not a
exactly.
big fan of alcohol. Or people that,
Volunteers.
drink too much alcohol.
We definitely need races here in
Definitely need a permanent
and it makes
base.
sense. He has a shop.
Jem just needs to get a bigger
I have a shop.
place.
You can promote your shop in the races.
Could you stop telling me about promoting my shop? I just want to fly. Can I say I just want to fly?
You sit in the corner. You have a lot of props. Look at the money. People throwing money
I
at
just
you.
want to fly.
Buy the quid.
I just want to fly. How can we fly? Well, how do we do this? This is the hardest issue
Yes.
in FPV as far as I can
Is
see.
flying.
Is where to fly.
Where to fly?
Yeah.
We just told you, everyone on the internet.
Everyone.
Like,
Churches. I think we should start with churches. They seem like
What?
a reasonable price because it's not gonna be. It's gonna cost something.
you don't think a church is going to charge you as much
No,
as a private venue?
Village hall.
I don't think so.
But you don't live in the village. You see, we get village halls where we are. They're cheap as chips.
Cheap
See,
as chips.
let's go fly with him. Like
Cheap as chips.
5
Thing
hours.
is, he could probably have a barn and a field to fly in if he moved out into the countryside. But you're not in the countryside, so yeah.
I would
This is all your fault, Joe.
I would be happy to
Location,
have a barn in a field.
location,
It's all my
location.
fault. It's my fault. So if anyone knows where there's a barn and a bit of a field for me to move to, yeah,
Little caravan in the corner, you'll be fine, Jeff.
okay.
Caravan.
I'm
You're
not
gonna sleep
I'm
in
not
the
even
barn.
living in the
24 hours
barn.
flying, anybody just turn
Yeah,
up.
I'm in a
Fine.
caravan in the corner.
Oh god.
What?
We should all live in the U.S. because like
Got so much
when
space.
we were imagine
So
just,
much space.
Torchmouth.
Yeah, how
Like
much space that was.
You could just put gates everywhere. It doesn't even need to put gates. You could just like
That sweet zoo was awesome.
yes. I have a video on that soon.
That was. I can't wait to see
Very
this
soon.
video from Carlos. But it was
I'm at the front.
just magical what people can create out of scrap. Like the guy for years had been collecting farm
look.
equipment and cars and bits and pieces. And see, look, there you go.
John
There's another
Circle
race.
got to whoop meet up tomorrow.
There's another race, but we don't know Christopher Taylor. That's
Where's
why.
this?
British
That's
Legion's
why
a
we
great
want.
idea.
We want a
Not
list.
a religion.
That's not a religion, British Legion. It's
Oh,
like
it's
for
a-
working men.
It's
It's like a
working.
working men club.
It's
I
a
work
legion.
and I'm a man.
It's a
You gotta
legion.
get it.
Look, this is why
Can I get
Yeah, no, British
multi-GP.
Legions are a different
This is
type
why
of building. There's a
multi-GP
bar where
doesn't work
working
in
men-
England
Why?
because they call it chapters,
Chapters.
and we don't like chapters. We're not interested in chapters. Chapters are Hell's Angels. But if you called it the multi-GP
I'm not
legions
British.
or multi-GP leagues,
Yeah.
he would get a lot more response in England.
Is it?
Guaranteed. I know it sounds very simplistic to put it across like
yeah,
that.
Here's a figure
But
of speech.
Legion.
We don't
I
like
don't even know what
chapters.
that means. Legion.
A legion is army term.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's the same.
But the legion is just like, how does that translate into a race?
It's not the race. It's a group. The group. The legion is the group that
League
has
make-
a race.
League, I understand.
That
I
has
don't
a
understand
race.
Legion.
It's like he's called it chapters.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and it's just ridiculous.
John Circle, where's
Macclesfield.
Macclesfield?
Macclesfield is up north. It is. It's up north. It's way up north.
Way up. Way up.
It is. I don't know how far up it is.
There we go, Macclesfield.
That's the one there. See, look, straight out of Google. Macclesfield is look, really up north, Cheshire. Yeah, there it is. Well, it says Cheshire.
Not even as far as
Look how
Manchester.
far. Look,
Oh my
look.
God.
It's in the middle. So as far as Christopher's concerned, he's right smack in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah. So he ain't far away
Far
from
from
everything.
London. Yep.
He's as far from everything as he is as he's close to it.
Yep.
However, we're down here in expensive land.
Expensive.
Yeah.
I'm further down.
So yeah, you're further down. So if anyone's got
I'm more
any
expensive
property in this area here, you should let us know.
I have
Yeah.
some property.
Not your house. Kind of. Right, let's re-clarify. Anyone got property that we can fly in?
You can. I can fly in.
That we can have a race in with 12 people.
Probably not.
Okay.
12 people don't fit in my
Carlos is
house.
out.
No way.
Yeah, so somewhere around there. Yeah, we want to
Maybe
find
four.
it.
4 people fit in my
So,
house.
okay, so if
Maybe.
anyone is up
Barely.
near Macclesfield, let's not be. Let's,
But
not,
then
you
no
know, let's
gates.
talk about it.
I can
Yeah.
fit 4
There's
people
a
in my
race there.
house, but no gates. How's that?
Can we
Or
become
two-
Can
two
we
and some
assume
gates.
the position?
You can sit
we
as
do
a
like
gate.
that? As
If
a-
you
as a
can fly
gate.
as a gate, that's all right.
That helps. That helps. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind doing that. Yeah, I mean, get involved, assume the position. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but guys, if anyone is watching and there's near Macclesfield, there's Chris's office.
Christopher's race is on, and if we had a calendar that we could all look at,
Yes.
that was shareable somewhere, that we could easily add our
Google
dates to.
Docs, not
Google
Google
Doc.
Docs might be
Yeah.
the best way to just have a calendar that way.
Just have a calendar that way.
Another thing for you to do.
Is another thing for me to do. Yes, it's another thing for me to do. Thank
Put
you
the
very much.
calendar.
Write it down.
Put your create a calendar.
Yeah, right, look,
Listen,
I'm writing it down. Okay, look, calendar.
you're making
Yeah.
me do like be like
Race.
the
Calendar. Yeah, I've written it down. It's written
drone
down. now, okay.
contraption
Are you
coding
making it?
creation.
Hang on a minute. You said no. Does that mean you're going to do it?
Yeah, eventually I'll do it.
What do you
yeah,
mean
of course.
eventually? How long is eventually?
But listen, this can be very good for
Everybody.
your company and for
community.
everyone as well. Because if you have this information on your website, that means people will go to your website
That's yeah, fine.
to see this information. And you're the micro king
look.
already.
I see a lot of people posting. Is there any race here?
Yes.
Is there a race there?
Yes.
And they could go on the calendar, and it might
No.
not be exactly where they was.
App time tree.
Yeah. No, I haven't heard of App Time Tree. It might not be exactly where they was, but it
Yeah,
might
but
be
it's
close to there.
Yeah, 30 minutes
And
away.
they could,
Or an hour away.
yeah.
Perfect.
But how would they know?
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to resolve.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a good project.
You know.
It's project day as well.
So
Google's it.
it's
You were
Project
managing-
Day.
you were
I've
managing
got
the
my list of
calendar.
projects.
Whoever was signed
Tom's
up
got
would get a
his list of
notification
projects.
something's happening.
Yeah.
So anyone that joined us late, this is Tom's project.
Yeah, that's my
So
project.
this is currently in Carbon and will be in VAC at some point soon. Carlos has got his projects. He's got a project here that he's got me involved in, taking this one apart and putting it on the wing. And then we've got still this one. So the competition for this
All right, let me see if I can do it then.
is what?
Get away.
Oh no, he wants,
no,
he
I
wants my
can't.
seat. You can't do it from here. We're gonna have to do it afterwards. I'm thinking, should we ask them to share it? If we share it? If we share the
just do it between who's been. Can we get a list of who's been logged in?
well, we can see. Well, we've got all of
What is it
these
now?
people here.
Not in both places.
Yeah, but we've got lists of people.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's
here.
worth reviewing
Hang on, no,
and doing
here.
it
Carlos.
next week and doing.
What's that?
This is both places.
Jem,
I know, but
Why don't
you
you
have to
review
like
it?
view it directly there. You
why
can't,
don't you review it this week and do the giveaway next one next week?
I don't mind reviewing it or giving it away later or giving it to someone who's actually watching us now. That would be quite nice, I
Yes.
think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's what I meant. It would go to that person who just announced it next week.
It'd be
I'm
hard
just
because
having a look here. There's Dan, Sparky.
yeah, because this is only YouTube.
Yeah, but doesn't the YouTube comments come up on this one?
Yes, and the YouTube and Facebook there.
So,
So
okay.
you have to
so
see both.
so
Yeah.
from all of our people in this box,
Yeah.
we're going to pick someone. Yeah?
Alright.
And I think we're going to pick them by saying, let's pick the 18th comment down or 30th comment down, something
Okay.
like that.
Oh, that's it. There we go. You
Yeah?
got it now. Wait. You know what? Do
Yeah.
this. Random number generator between 1 and let's say how many comments
Yeah.
you think? Like 100, 200?
No, that's too many. I think 50.
It's not 50.
I don't know. It's not that many. That box is still quite big. That thing. Yeah.
It doesn't say the comments. Oh, does it say here?
If you organise
Analytics?
it, there is a way to export it. And all that kind of stuff.
No, this is different.
Back to
Good
chat.
chat.
Go back to chat.
All right, let's say random number
Generator.
generator
That's it.
between 100 and what?
1 and 50.
50.
Yeah.
All right. So the 50 first people to comment that have commented on the stream, one of you is gonna get this beautiful prize.
Yeah.
Do you want to put this there
I'm just gonna swing this one over
to make
here.
it legit?
So this is how legit we're gonna make it. So we've got 1 to 50.
Right.
Yeah. So comment number 41
Oh Jesus.
on this screen here.
You can start from the top. If it goes all the way there.
Now we've got to do counting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What? No, it's not 6. You're already
That was
counting wrong.
6. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7.
I shouldn't be doing the counting.
I'll do the counting. Give me that.
Carlos is going to do the counting. You had to pick a big number.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Is that one?
16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
Hope you're enjoying the
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33.
show. One more from
34.
Ryan. There was one more from Ryan.
No, there wasn't. 34, 35,
Five, yeah.
36, 37, 38, 39, 40,
What?
41.
You got what?
That was him?
Well, look, it's still him.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know that.
I don't know that.
I don't know that. He's
I'll
a
contact him
YouTube
on
viewer.
YouTube.
One on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's
he's
okay.
one of our YouTube viewers. Yeah, I don't know that one.
You don't know that.
I don't know that one. Yeah.
Congratulations, I know that. I don't know that. You can type in there.
Can I type it in here too? Okay. I don't.
Congratulations, I don't know
Yeah.
that one.
Oh no, that one. No, he won. Sorry, not one. I don't know that one.
So terrible.
Okay, but he has.
Best award ever.
He has won.
You have won.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
you've won.
I
this.
don't know if he's still on the stream, but I will contact you on Facebook. Sorry, on Facebook.
This is for
I'll
you.
contact you on
It's on a wooden backer.
on YouTube,
Yeah,
and
see that? Yeah.
I'll send this over to you.
and it was carved out, resin filled. It's actually really nice.
Out a bit of my old decking.
Is this heat proof? This resin? You think? Could you use that as a
They
trivet?
use it's very similar stuff that they use for doing work surfaces and flooring, and you've seen all those penny floor things
Yeah,
that they've
yeah.
used and everything.
That's really nice. Really nice. I don't want to give it away now, but you
No,
won
no,
it.
no.
I don't know who it was, but he won
Oh, I've got
You don't
better-
know
it.
that?
I don't know that. Yeah.
There are other things.
I
on
don't
the
know
file.
that won this.
Yes.
Yeah. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations.
Um,
I'll send it over.
thank you all very much for sticking with us, watching us
Yes.
in our live stream efforts. We honestly are just surprised that you even want to listen to us. But
What?
Thank you very much.
I'm
I
not
am.
surprised at all.
I am. I'm surprised because we just
People
talk-
listen to you all the time.
I tune
We
in
just
all
talk
the
stuff.
time.
They call you on the
Yeah.
phone.
Big love. Thank you guys very much.
See you later.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you for coming.
No problem.
Thanks for showing us your ideas.
Yeah.
I look forward to more.
Ideas are more.
I look forward to more. Thank you, Carlos.
Yes.
Thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you,
along.
Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you for thanking me.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks
for
for
being
thanking
with us.
Thank you.
And-
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy flying.